Welcome to our third View at Home Hot Wheels Legends Tour. It is hosted by Road and Track and presented by Mobil 1. I'm Jared Dienda. Now, this experience, at the end of this journey, we'll find out who will be immortalized as a 1/64th diecast. I'm sitting next to a real-life Hot Wheel. Now, things kind of went backwards where this began life as a diecast, and then they made the real-life version. This is the Twin Mill. Who will be the iconic car going down in 50-plus years of Hot Wheels history? Who will be the 2020 Legends winner? We'll find out at the end of this journey. This is only the third stop of 8. So I can't do it alone. We're going to bring in some judges, and we're going to bring in my co-host, who's doing triple duty. She's a judge. She's also my co-host. And then we have introduced the lounge where you can actually converse with her, and she's going to find out which vehicle you think is leading the pack of this stop. 20 cars, lots of action. Stay tuned. Some special releases. So I throw it over to you, Colette Davis. Colette, what is up, homegirl?
What is up, everyone? I am Colette Davis, and I am stoked to be back here for our third virtual Hot Wheels Legends tour. So in addition to being a co-host with Jared, I'm also going to be judging as well and joining all of you guys on social. So I'm streaming this right now on my YouTube channel and going to be seeing what you guys comment on the Hot Wheels Facebook page as well. So please, during the show, let us know what you think, and I'm excited for you guys to see some awesome cars tonight.
All right, now keep in mind, technology sometimes gets a little glitchy, a little buffering here, but I feel like just given the times, we all have a little bit of grace here. So thank you so much, Colette. Excited to see what the fans and how they're going to be getting involved. I'm here at Race Service here in Los Angeles, and like I said, got the Twin Mill. We got some, you can see the toolboxes back here, and one lucky winner will be receiving a year supply of Mobil 1 oil, so it's pretty awesome. Now, all this began just a few years ago, 2018, celebrating 50 years of Hot Wheels, and that's when it all began and just kicked off the whole things that is Legends Tour. Now, you guys submitted your vehicles, 20 at each stop, and if you don't see your vehicle, remember, you can submit. All you do is go to hotwheels.com/legends, and you can find out how you could submit your very own vehicle. If you don't see your vehicle and you already did, just wait. We have more stops to come. Now, let's quickly touch on last stop's winner. This vehicle was really dynamic and actually, coincidentally, won in 2018. This is the 2Jet Z right here. Now, this gentleman built a brand new vehicle here, the Scorp Ion. Now, this vehicle won the second round, which was just a few weeks ago. Here we are at the third look at home. Really cool, unique vehicle. That was last stop's winner. Let's move on because we want to know who wins tonight. So the finalists from this Hot Wheels Legends virtual stop will join all the other Legends Tour winners at the grand finale in November, and we'll find out who will be immortalized. New for 2020, the Mobil 1 Fan Pick. This is where you get to get involved. So pay attention. Which vehicle do you think will go to the finals? And you get to vote. Now, the Mobil 1 Fan Pick will have a special guest, including that. And like I said, the winner of the Fan Pick receives a 1-year supply of Mobil 1 oil. So you get to pick, and then we'll take all of the Mobil 1 fan winners of each round. They'll go into a pool, and one of those will get that fast pass to go against all the Legends round winners. And on the front of the show, I said that it's hosted by Road and Track. We have 2 representatives of Road and Track. They're going to break down their pick representing Road and Track. So you got to think about Road and Track, what it defines, what it means. And our judges are very accomplished. They're both writers. They're educated in late model vehicles, race cars, a bunch of different things. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. But that in particular, again, the third winner of the 3, Legends, Mobil 1 pick, and then the Road and Track pick. That's all about bragging rights. You got picked as the Road and Track winner. So, Colette, yeah, I know we're talking about all the different awards and accolades, and it's just casual. It's really fun to be here with all of our fans, but where else can they check this out, and what else are you going to be doing?
So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be monitoring the Hot Wheels Facebook page where the stream is live, and on my YouTube page as well, which is just Colette Davis. So definitely, throughout the show, let us know what you guys think and who you think should be the winner for this round. We're going to be checking in throughout the show, and I'll be right here.
I love it. I love it. Look at all your screens. You got energy drinks going on there. Yeah, you're pumped. You are psyched.
I am ready for this.
All right, so we're going to give you a quick little flash, Colette. If you haven't seen all the vehicles, I believe you did your research, but here they are. So 20 vehicles, and now let's go ahead and show them. So look at that. We see, okay. Hot Wheels Legends, I mean, Colette, don't you think it's about the diversity? Because at our previous stop, we saw a different diverse selection of cars. What do you think of this round?
It is, I think one of my favorite things about the tour is that it just brings together all types of builders from all over the US. And now that we're virtual, we're not solely based on a certain location to see what's only in that location. We are open, doors open for all types of build, and I'm excited to see what different creators and things we have going on for the stop.
Look at that. That's two wheels. You remember, Hot Wheels isn't exclusive to
It
four.
is.
We're talking 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever. That's what it is. It's all about your imagination and can you bring it to impress the judges. So if you see a vehicle that can rival some of these, this is just a teaser of the vehicles to come. And look at this. Look at that Trans Am. Colette, did you see that thing?
I did, and that is one of my favorites. I'm gonna hold my opinions back.
Yeah,
it is.
Just pump the brakes. You're only one of a few judges here, so just pump the brakes. All right. Now, speaking of judges, let's meet our judges. All right. And where are they at? There they are. Yes, look at that, guys and gal. So we'll kick things off with our two Hot Wheels designers and two handsome-looking men. They are up top there. So we kick things off with the gentleman that has been at Hot Wheels for 17 years, Steve Vandervate, and I like to just call you Van. So I'm wondering, why is your favorite Hot Wheels not a van? What I'm seeing here is your favorite is the 55 Bel Air Candy Striper.
Yeah, well, the Candy Striper it's kind of a magical thing. It's a unicorn for us. It was done just to do something cool and kind of out of the box, and it turned into this thing that had a life of its own, and it's grown beyond anything that we could have expected out of it.
I like it. You don't seem like a unicorn type of guy, especially got a little glitch going on, but no big deal. But you don't seem like a unicorn guy.
Unicorn collection back here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you proved me wrong. All right. Well, Van, thanks for joining us out here at Hot Wheels Legends
Thank you
Tour.
very much.
And moving on. Okay, 34 years. Next up, Mark Jones. You've been at Hot Wheels for 34 years. I'm sweating, man. This is awesome. But when did you start working?
Oh, I was, pretty young. Just out of
college, I guess in a weird way I kind of asked your age there, but I say that because on your stats you actually worked at full-size real automotive manufacturers, including Ford, Honda, and Chrysler, and then 34 years at Hot Wheels. How does that compare making full-size cars to a different size car?
Well, we have a lot more freedom at Hot Wheels. I spent like 4 years, like you said, in the auto full-size studios. And so I kind of consider myself as a studio tourist. That was my master's education in corporate design and politics. And then I washed up on the shores of Hot Wheels. And it took me a while to get to Hot Wheels. I was in action figures first, but I finally got to Hot Wheels. And I just enjoy the freedom of doing the whole car, just exaggerating, doing stuff you couldn't do in the real world.
I love it. It's back to Van's unicorns. So you're creating griffins and different centaurs. You're creating all these mythical creatures, but in car form. And you did. You created Eye Candy, which is just the letter I dash candy. Look it up if you're not a collector. I remember having that vehicle as a kid. So very awesome. All right. Thank you, Mark Jones, for joining us. All right, next up, we said this was hosted by Road and Track, so now I'm going to present to you our two representatives representing Road and Track. Executive editor of Road and Track magazine, a veteran car reviewer, feature writer, and you've seen his work more times than you could probably count. This is Mr. Dan Punt. Dan, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I like the stark black backdrop. You look like you're in a black hole in a floating head here.
I feel like I'm shooting a Queen album cover.
Yeah, or Death Row Records. You're on the cover of the Source magazine here. Dan, you're calling in from Motor City. What kind of responsibility do you feel you give Road and Track here, being part of this Hot Wheels Legends?
Well, I mean, hey, this is an important decision for us. We want to represent properly, and I've seen some of the cars on the intro there, and they look great. And so, I'm just looking forward to doing it.
Awesome. And I mean, are you more into late model? Can you kind of tease the style that you're into specifically, or?
We're primarily a new car magazine, but we do vintage as well. We do motorsports. We cover a lot of ground. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us here, Hot Wheels Legends, third look at home. Next up,
Also flying the road and track flag, AJ Bain. He's there with the lid on. He's looking cool, calm and collect. And right behind him, he's shopping. He's shopping back there. Go Like Hell, your book that eventually was made into a movie, Ford vs. Ferrari. Now you are part of Automotive Folklore. You've contributed heavily to it. And coincidentally, I just saw this movie, and I'm a fan, man. Thank you.
Hey, listen, I'm just psyched because I've been, Hot Wheels toys got me into cars. That's how it all started for me as a kid. And I know so many people watching today feel the same way. And I'm just psyched because tonight it's not about me. It's about you people. It's about car building.
That's awesome and well put, exactly. And you're calling us from Northern California, so shout out to all the firefighters that are fighting the fires
right.
all over the PNW and especially all over California. So stay safe
Absolutely.
and be smart. Thank you, AJ. Thank you so much. Looking forward to your contribution here this evening. And last but definitely least, down there on the bottom left-hand corner, right? There you are. There he is. You know him. You love him. Formula Drift champion, but also he's the professional fun haver, and he is ready to rock. That is the name of his not exclusive to Mustang company. It's all things Ford, all blue. Oh, I see the RTX back there. I see a few different vehicles. The professional fun haver, Vaughn Gittin Jr. What's up, man?
What is going on, everybody? I am absolutely pumped to be here and be a part of this. For me, Hot Wheels. In fact, I've got to brag for a moment.
I was going to ask you.
The two cars behind me, my Ford GT and the RTRX, have been immortalized. And so it's just they're on the shelves now. In fact, I'm lucky that I found these because they're hard to find. But it's just an honor to be a part of this. Like AJ, and I think most all of us here on the call feel. I mean, Hot Wheels got me into cars. My parents obviously getting me into the Hot Wheels, but my mom literally at her wedding had to pry Hot Wheels out of my hands so I could be her ring bearer. So. I was not happy, but I am pumped to be here and be a small part of who is next to get their vehicle, their hard work immortalized in the form of a Hot Wheels. So thanks for having me.
Awesome, of course, and thank you. And like you said, that special feeling of being immortalized, that RTRX, the big version right behind you, into the small version. So thank you so much, Vaughn Gittin Jr. RTR, ready to rock. First, before we move on to our competition and see our 20 vehicles, remember, keep in mind, Colette, we're talking about social media. We're talking about channels, at Hot Wheels Official. But now, the Culture Club. What is the Culture Club?
Yes, so if you guys aren't already following at Hot Wheels Official on Instagram, you definitely should. And one of the cool features is the Hot Wheels Culture Club. And that is where Hot Wheels drops some knowledge every other week. They take an inside look at the culture, design, brands, model lineage, and so much more. Hot Wheels designer Mark Jones, who is here with us tonight, even walks us through how Hot Wheels cars go from a concept to store shelves in one of the episodes. So I love all this behind the scenes info coming from the Hot Wheels brand on social. So turn on notifications and comment on our post and tell us what else you guys want to know about Hot Wheels and car culture.
Yeah, and I really, just the other day I saw the S chassis one, and Mark Jones did a really good job breaking down the S chassis from the S13 to the S15, breaks down the history of the vehicle, but also how it plays into the family of Hot Wheels vehicles. And it bears repeating, be sure to turn on notifications because there's going to be some drops, and they might happen tonight. They might happen tomorrow, next week. But turn on notifications because if you're a collector, you know those drops are coming in hot. It's called Hot Wheels. It's not called Cold Wheels. There you go. I'm backwards. But again, it's really awesome to be here once again. Want to thank our sponsors and our presenting sponsors, including Walmart. Walmart has been around since day one, since the beginning of this Legends Tour, and now they are debuting, like I said, ready? Bam! Look at that, the Sunnigan. If you've never seen a Volkswagen Vanagon, this is the Hot Wheels Edition 2020 available. Fans, check it out. Go to walmart.com during the live stream for your chance to take home the special edition of this 2020 Hot Wheels Volkswagen Sunnigan designed by the legendary Larry Wood. So, if you're a Hot Wheels fan, you know how collectible this is. So, go to walmart.com/Hot Wheels. So, pick this one up. This is a hot one. Also, while you're there, you can get some goods, and we'll talk about these goods here in a little bit. I got a little pin right there. 68. That means 50 plus years now. All right, let's move on to our judging criteria. Like I said, 20 vehicles at each stop. So I'm going to really kind of lean on our Hot Wheels in-house designers, talking to Van and Mark. So here's our 3 criteria: authenticity, creativity, garage spirit. First off, Van, I'm going to throw it to you, authenticity, because this is basically, does that car look like a Hot Wheel? And can that be turned into a Hot Wheel? But what does authenticity mean to you?
Well, it's both things. It's, does the car look like a Hot Wheels, and does it look like a real car that you connect with, that you could jump in and drive, and is going to get your blood going. It's a fine line. It's something hard to define, but you know what it is as soon as you see it.
Yeah, I love it. And then moving on to creativity. That's number 2. So, Mark, I'm going to talk to you because you've been there for 34 years. I mean, you're more than half the time Hot Wheels has been around, celebrating 50 years, like we said, just in 2018. They've made over 25,000 vehicles. That's more than any other automotive manufacturer out there. But what does creativity mean to you, Mark?
Well, to me, it's does it grab your attention when you walk up to it? Are there interesting uses of different materials, maybe a combination you wouldn't expect? I think we'll see some of that tonight. Just the thought, if you can see the creator's thoughts in it, I think that shows you the creativity.
Nice, I like it. And last but not least, garage spirit. And this is all about built, not bought. So we just wrapped out with Van and Mark. I'm going to lean on Vaughn Gittin Jr. because I think you harness that garage spirit with some of the vehicles you've produced over the last 17, 18 years and the evolution of your career. Now you run your own program, RTR, and aftermarket parts manufacturer. But garage spirit, built, not bought.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me in this category, looking for those key indicators that they've got their blood, sweat, and tears in the car. It'll be some of those learning curve, most likely. A little bit of the learning curve, maybe not the most perfect welds you've ever seen, but those pieces of character that show that heart, soul, blood, and tears went into the build. I think for me is how I define the garage spirit. Those early days of myself, building my first car, my way too small of a garage, and those vibes that you look for that come out of only that homegrown feeling.
Yeah, no, and I think you really embody that. I know you're at your RTR lab. I could see I just saw the 4GT there over in the plastic bubble protecting the 4GT and that RTRX. So I know you definitely have some garage spirit. Are you judges ready to see our first 10 vehicles?
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's send it, as some kids say, right? Lick the stamp and send it. Here is our first vehicle. Moving on down, looks like... All right, well, as there is that teaser once again, but we're going to go into the first vehicle, which is this one, the 1947 Fargo FL1 chain smoker. Obvious reasons, you can see why it's called the chain smoker. Over 350 feet of chain was used from a decommissioned elevator all the way up to fill in gaps on the body panels. A sword is used as a shifter, but all right, pay attention here. This engine, it's a 12-valve Cummins with 2 whirly-birds. It's got a 74-millimeter turbo and a 96-millimeter turbo, original patina, and this was found in a field after 40 years. Van, right out of the gate, I'm going to go to you. What do you think? Can this vehicle transfer into a 1/64 scale vehicle?
Well, I'll tell you, the coolest thing about it is, well, one of the coolest things is that it's a Fargo. It's not a Ford, it's not a GMC or an International. It's something that you rarely see, and I think that takes guts to do something that cool with something that's that rare, anyways. And I think we can make that happen. And this goes back to what Mark was talking about, the different textures and surfaces. This is really important. This is a great example of it.
I think you could definitely incorporate the dog in the vehicle as well. Have you ever put animals inside? I believe you have, right?
We have, yeah.
Yes,
there you go. Dan, going to you. You talked about, you like some hot rods, you like some more modern vehicles. Does this vehicle speak to you?
Yeah, it does. It speaks to me on a creative level. I mean, it's probably not the car I would build, but this is an individual build. This is this guy's dream, and the amount of work that's gone into it is pretty stunning. That chain work is really cool.
Yeah. And Vaughn, going to you, are you scratching your head or are you asking, give me the keys?
I'm loving it. I love and respect the creativity here. without a doubt. And it actually looks like some of the engineering is actually pretty impressive. I see he's got bags on there, and just overall the mindset. I'm like, I want to talk to this guy and get in his head, because this is definitely off the wall, and certainly huge on the creativity side, which is rad to see.
Yeah, I'd love to see him do a burnout and the smoke billowing through the chains, and this thing needs to basically sit in front of my house during Halloween. So
I wish we did see this car running though, because he says it has a drift handbrake in it. That's what I want to see more of. So that was really interesting to me, and I still can't believe that all those chains are from a decommissioned elevator.
Right,
So I thought that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I know Colette likes to do some sliding around and doing some racing, so that's why she brings it up. So perfect point example. Again, we'll find out what the people think online. Look at you got the hidden trailer hitch. So yeah, you gotta love this thing. The chain smoker, it's awesome. Not only is it a DJ. So all right. So remember, keep going to Walmart.com/Hot Wheels, and you could find. And oh my gosh, we are finding out that the Sun Again is already sold out. It's already gone. So this one right here. Yeah, this one's mine. Thanks, appreciate it. All right, peace, see you guys later. All right, so let's move on to our next vehicle here, and you could, of course, get some great stuff at Walmart. All right, this is the 1992 Mitsubishi GTO. You know, this is an interesting car because this is actually JDM. You know, it's a 3000 GT in the States, but the GTO, and this is a JDM vehicle. HID snake eye headlights, custom front splitter, tan coilovers, Avid 1 wheels with Toyo proxies, S13 carbon fiber rear diffuser, FC RX-7 Battle Arrow wing, Nardi quick release steering wheel, and race seats and harnesses. Who do we go to? I'm going to go to let's go to AJ Bain. AJ, what do you think of this vehicle?
Hey, I love this thing. I have two thoughts come to mind right away. One is that I want to get in that car and drive it. I want so badly to put that thing on the track and have a good time. So for me, this is a front runner. The only thing I'll say about it in terms of the criteria of our competition and whether this should be a Hot Wheels, I wonder if this is parked in front of my house, if it's so creative that all my neighbors are going to come out and be like, "Whoa, what is that?" I'm not sure it hits A+ on that category.
Yeah, going to Mark here. Have you made a 3000 GT? I mean, you've been there so long. Can you recall, or a GTO, a JDM version?
Well, I'd have to kill you if I told you that, but you might keep your eyes open.
All right. So wow, Mark is, you know what, I'm supposed to be interviewing Mark. You're supposed to give me something. Come on, tell the fans what they want. All joking aside, does this have the criteria as we talked about them, you know, authenticity, garage spirit, and just overall, does this spew Hot Wheels?
Well, I think it's maybe more in line with the direction we're going, licensed cars. This is obviously kind of a time attack look, you know, he's achieved in using all these parts. Yeah, it could definitely be, you know, you can see smoke pouring off the wheels, right?
I like it. I think Mark's being really nice. I think you know, it's just he's being cordial, and I appreciate that. Everybody's blood, sweat, and tears. You want to congratulate, not hate, right? So great looking vehicle here. I like what you said, AJ. This looks like something you could really hot rod around. So let's move on to our next vehicle here. Moving on to what I think a lot of different demographics will really appreciate this, because this is the King Bragger. The King Bragger, 63 Chevy Biscayne, the Super 60 stock car inspired, Blueprint 509 crate engine, adjustable ram clutch, M23 auto gear 4-speed, has a Tau City Pie Crust tires in the rear, American wheels in the front, I believe American Racing, yeah. And then this thing does an 1181 at 119 in the quarter mile. So let's go to Von Gittin Jr. What do you make of this Biscayne? Because this has a nostalgic look. The gassers are obviously really popular, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'm certainly a fan of this era of vehicles. In fact, one of my first vehicles was a 64, so I love the body and shapes and presence of this vehicle. You know, is it something that's going to hop off the shelf to me? Like when I think of Hot Wheels, my answer of that is no. However, I do see maybe, you know, it could be in a special series if there was a nostalgia series or something to that effect. I think it's got that presence, right? It's got that lettering that is so synonymous with this era So I think as far as, authenticity, I think they nailed it pretty good. Looking at the car, like I like the way it feels, and that for me is something that very much draws me into any vehicle. But yeah, I think nailed it on the authenticity. I like to think I'm still watching the video, but I like to think there's a lot of garage spirit here. But as far as it being a Hot Wheels, something that hops off the shelf to me, it's not what I think of when I think of a Hot Wheels. But nonetheless, I got a lot of respect and love for it. I think it's cool.
I see Dan taking a little sip, maybe wetting his whistle. I saw your head. I saw your head nodding quite a bit. So I think you're in line with, you like this thing.
I like this thing a lot, man. I think this is a great looking vehicle. I agree with Vaughn though. It's, it doesn't jump out. It's not going to jump off the shelves at you, right? But man, that color combo, that stance, the whole thing, man. I really dig it.
Yeah, it's not, again, not the gasser look. It's that super stock. I do agree with both of you guys. It has. I would be psyched to drive this around my hood, right? I think everybody would agree with that. Colette, I know you're not an old school kind of fan, this style, but I could see you driving this thing. Maybe if it had hot pink wheels on it.
Maybe if it had some hot paint just in parts of it. No, I mean, I appreciate that it's track driven though. It's a car that's built and driven hard. It doesn't just, stay shiny in the garage. So I can appreciate that. But this competition, the bar is so high. The creativity in some of these vehicles is high, and that's going to be hard to match with.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our next vehicle here. As we depart from the 63, we go up 20 years. Let's talk about an 83 Austin Mini 1275 GT. Now, this is right-hand drive, which is kind of cool. I'd assume Euro spec, dual carb setup, full cage. Oh, Colette, I know you're going to like that, as well as Vaughn. Sport bucket seats, wide fender flares, carbon fiber spoiler, and street legal. Van, I know I won't fit in this car. Will you fit in this car? And obviously, none of us will fit if it's that little itty bitty guy.
I would probably barely fit in that car, but I'd give it a shot. It looks like a lot of fun, and I love the execution of it. I don't know that it's a Legends candidate. I think it's a fantastic looking car, and I mean anybody would love to rip around town in it.
Yeah.
Or the track.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it's a Legend quality.
Yep. All right.
Which is and that bar is very high, like you said.
No, it is. I love the plate here. You can maybe have a vanity plate there, the fun size. AJ, are you a driver? You've written about it. You've written about road and track. Are you a fan of the little tiny Austin Mini?
Hey, I think this thing is cool as bleep. I would love to drive this thing around. I love the fender flares. I love the design language, the way the ribbon on the tire matches all the other colors on the car. I think it looks super cool. It's very understated, and I appreciate that. I agree with the other guys. Is it a Legend? Let's see what else we have in store tonight and see if this one measures up.
Man, is the theme dogs? You have to have a dog in your car. I guess that's what's going on here. All right, let's move on to not dogs, but we're moving on to our next one, which is the Trackhawk. So we talked about late models. These things are awesome. And Dan, I want to get your insight because I'm sure you've probably driven this as you're right there in the backyard. These things are sweet. They have a 850 all-wheel drive horsepower. Yeah. 850, and you could go to the grocery store with all your kids. You could take them to soccer, and we could scratch around there as it runs on E85 Lexani wheels, AFE intake, AFE exhaust, custom grille, and headlights. Also, the ZL1 front splitter there. So, Dan, this is a great vehicle on the track. It is Trackhawk, and you could take it around all-wheel drive. So when it gets really snowy and slushy in Michigan, this could be a sweet ride. Does this transition into a Hot Wheels? But maybe elaborate about the Trackhawk.
The Trackhawk is a pretty special vehicle. I mean, anything they put that engine in, and they put that engine in everything basically these days, becomes a special thing, and that includes this. And it's got like a really defined, really, really passionate following, and you can see why. Now, what this guy's done here, I think, is cool. I mean, it's pretty subtle, apart from the stripes, but I like what he did with the stripes and how it goes through the front grille, and I think it's a nice presentation. I'm not sure it's a Legend, But it's a great, fast, loud, awesome sounding new car.
Mark, does part of the Hot Wheels design process, because I mean Dan, what is this you think sticker MSRP for a Trackhawk? What do you think?
Off the top of my head, it's under 100,000, but it's it's up there. It's like a $90,000 vehicle.
So the reason I ask that is going to Mark. Does some of the concepts of Hot Wheels, does it say like, okay, you might not be able to own a Trackhawk in real life, but you could own one on your desk or on your counter? Does that kind of come into the thought process of being a Hot Wheels designer?
Yeah, for me, that's probably the main thing is the aspirational vehicles. When I was a kid, when I was designing earlier, did Ferraris and stuff, and I'm never going to own one, but it's really important, I think, to provide kids and older folks with a car that maybe they can't afford, but they can enjoy at that small scale, and pick it up and play with it.
Yeah, children of all ages, and I know, like you said, Mark, there's still time. You could still own a really sweet Italian vehicle, so there's still time, Mark.
Thanks.
Again, what 64th scale? I got one. There's one in the mail for you. It's coming, Mark. I got you, bro.
Great, thank you.
All right, so let's move on from the Trackhawk. Oh, I like this. I'm a sucker for wagons. 1979, and that was the year after I was born. Giving you, yes, I'm 41. I'll be 42 in October. 79 Toyota Corona wagon. Not a Corolla, but a Corona. Now, the Corona wagon, inspired by the Wangan Midnight, has the Bozozuku style, which is that kind of, that Japanese gangster exhaust, and it has a 1J under the hood, twin turbo setup. Oh, Vaughn, are you listening? Twin turbo 1J, Ford rear end. So it has an 8.8 rear end. Vaughn, I'm going to go to you out of this one because you've been driving Fords for 16 years, but I know you still have an affinity for unique vehicles and the JDM.
I like what they did here. Just going on that, the Stinger. You see that. You'd obviously traditionally see that on Volkswagen Beetles. It's pretty cool. They added that. Love that they've got the 1J in this, right? Keeping it with the proper power plant. Did it just hit somebody? Oh no! Okay, someone's just playing around. Okay.
I think the little girl's bike is in the back. She fell off it. He saved it. I don't know what happened here. Weird flex, but okay.
Love the flares. I mean, this is one of those vehicles, right? I think for me, clearly has a garage spirit. Clearly the authentic. On the creativity side, I'd argue that this is a little bit more of a traditional approach, but I love and respect how much heart and passion. Clearly, the owner is very into JDM. Very meticulously chose that shifter for that vehicle. Very meticulously chose his seats. But is it a legend? Is it something that is on Hot Wheels? Is a Hot Wheels?
Oh, come on! Look, he's shopping it right now. Like it's for the kids. Look at this. His daughter's laying in front of the car. Come on.
No, very cool, very raw. Like the stickers that have been put in there, and you can tell there's a lot of heart and passion in this. And for me, that's what it's all about. Certainly a cool vehicle. I love the intercooler hanging out the front of it. A lot of cool little touches, and one of those things. Like I think I should watch this a bit more before I talk about it. But what is that? Is that a noodle? Is that a noodle can?
No, that's a sake bottle, I believe.
Oh, sake bottle. See? Yeah. So I mean, I love these little touches. I think
Mark's
it's super cool.
Yeah,
I love these little touches.
Yeah, the little details there, they backed it up. They're nice job here. And you can see the intercooler up front. And I still haven't seen. Is it right-hand drive or left-hand drive?
It's left-hand drive, I believe.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Well, look at the diff cover. It's got custom murals on it. This thing is full. So Van, the attention to detail, can this cross over into a Hot Wheel?
Well, I'll tell you, the thing that got me with this one is when I was a kid, we had a 75 Corona wagon. So this is about as close, and I've never seen another one around. You didn't see them around when we had it. And I always loved the thing. I always thought that it was a really classy ride, because I was a kid. But I like this, and I think it's cool because it looks like a small town screamer. Everybody in town knows this guy, and they hear this thing coming, and they know what he's going to do and what he's up to. And I think that's great. I love that.
And this plays off of, Hot Wheels making vehicles that are unattainable or unique. This might not have a high price point, but as you said, the rarity of it, so that sitting on your shelf, that could speak some volumes for our road and track.
I'll tell you that the minute somebody puts a Corona wagon into a game, this thing would fly off the pegs. That's what happens.
There you go. Colette, do you love this thing? I mean, pink wheels, boom. The little girl with the dress and the bike in the back. I mean, this screams Colette.
Yeah, parts of it definitely do. I love Boso-inspired vehicles. I think there are elements of that theme, obviously, in this build that I can appreciate and like. But as all of us have mentioned, I feel the bar for Legends is so high. Like, I would have loved to see them take that JDM Bosozoku theme and really overdo it with the exhaust. Maybe a little more adding of that theme on the interior, but I'm a fan of the build. But we have a high bar to meet. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we're only just we're only 6 vehicles in now, so we have do the math, 14 left to go. I like the lean custom pins there. Here we go. Moving on to our next vehicle here. This vehicle has factory stock lines that look awesome, but then let's go to the gym and get them more bulked out here. So this 88 BMW E30. Now, it might just look unassuming. Look at that. Oh, it's got the race window, the slider there. But this has a 6-liter LS swap, 8-to-1 headers, custom center lock rotiforms. You can see them there on the corners. Nice subtle gray with that orange spoke. It has the Live to Offend body kit designed by Kazal Salim, which we know the designer there. Center exit exhaust with custom diffuser, radium fuel cell, Fortune auto coilovers, Sebelt seats, and like I just talked about, the Lexan windows. I'm going to go to Dan right out of the gate. E30s, love them or hate them?
Absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. I mean, this was an era for BMW that they really defined what it was to be a sports sedan for them. I mean, beyond 2002, but from the more modern era, E30 was the beginning of a really sweet period. And I think this thing is awesome. I love the color. I like the swap, even though it's sacrilegious to get rid of the straight 6. I mean, how can you go wrong with a 6-liter LS, right? I think it's a beautiful build. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, the metal artistry, that 8-to-1 header, I think that offsets the kind of abomination in your mind and says like, okay, all right, you did a good thing here. The Kaiser did such a great job. I remember seeing this vehicle last year at the SEMA show in the Meguiar's booth. The carbon fiber roof, the good detail. I even saw a race service sticker on the back. Maybe that's bonus points since it's right here behind me. There we go. I'm backwards. AJ, going to you again, another road and track representative. This looks like a vehicle you can also just thrash on.
Well, I agree, and I agree with Dan. Listen, this is a driver's car, and the person who built this is a driver, and that's it. Something to say about the last vehicle. I loved it. I loved the last vehicle because there was so much tongue in cheek. It was such a joke. It was so absurd, and the more you looked at it, the more absurd it became. And I love this for the exact opposite reason. There's nothing absurd about it. The more you look at it, the more you're just like, I want to drive that thing. It's sick.
Yeah, it definitely has a level of refinement. Van, you got closer to your screen. You're like, what is that? What is that?
I love this thing.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everything about. I mean, I love BMWs. We do a lot of them. That's no secret. But I think this is a great take on it. It's and the way you mentioned working out in the gym. It's got just that tight, high-strung look to it, like it's just packed with roids, and it's about to blow up on you.
Yeah, right. But look at the details underneath. So really well done.
Yeah.
Hats off to the owners, man. I mean, again, the center lock, that's a great detail. Don't know if that'll transfer into a scaled down version, but overall, really beautiful car. Let's move on. Yeah, I think we can all agree, really well executed. Want to give me the keys. All right, moving on to our next vehicle, the 1941 Willys Gasser pickup, the Harry Hauler. Original West Coast race cars from the 60s, rebuilt in the late 90s in New York, has a 383 small block Chevy engine, a BDS blower, you could barely stick it out of that really tall hood there on the Willys, has 2 Holley carburetors, turbo 400 transmission, makes 700 horsepower on 110 race gas, Mustang seats, and orange paint. Family owned and raced for the past 6 years. Vaughn, what do you think about the Harry Hauler, 1941 Willys?
I love it. This is, for me, this is like full package. Presence wise, right? Got the hood scoop, got the small fuel tank out the front, some big fat tires in the back. I haven't seen the interior under the hood, but knowing that there's a giant BDS blower under there, and that's not just an air intake, obviously, or not just a scoop for the carb. It's sick. I love the bed sides of this. How it's just like a fender flare with a very flat bedside. I believe there's probably a name for that. That was before my time. I don't know, but it's super rad. In fact, I'm actually curious about that bed. Is that like a full custom bed?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, I'm going to lean on Mark here again with all of your working with different manufacturers as well as Hot Wheels for so many years. The Harry Hauler. Do you know what that's called? And it does look like maybe a shortened, or is that the Willys bed? What's going on?
It looks like the proportions are, the body's been moved forward, it looks like to me, but I would say that's probably a stock bed of the time. Just my observation. This is really, really cool, really period, and I don't know if you noticed, but it has some cool signatures on the dash of the guys who have raced it or raced against it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and again, last stop we had the gasser. It sold out really quick. I think this would transfer really well, Mark, to that smaller 1/64th.
Definitely, yeah. We have a whole cadre of people who love gassers. So yeah, this would definitely translate well. And I like the fact that they show the video of it taking off, off the line. It's neat to see cars in motion.
Do
Yeah.
do
Gives you more of a
wheelies? I just
feel
want to
for
know,
what
does
they're
it do wheelies?
It comes up in the video.
Nice.
We cut it out. So yeah, AJ's pretty pumped on that. Colette, I
Yes.
know you're all about driving vehicles. I mean, would you get behind the wheel of this thing?
You know what? I would want to, for sure. I appreciate that it is purpose built. The power plant seems awesome. Love the color. And I don't want to be a buzzkill right now on this car, but
I gotta go.
I know. And then I shouldn't start like that. In hearing his video, it does seem like they bought it mostly how it looks. So it seems like it was built earlier on, and I know they've been racing it for a few years, but it seems like it was kind of bought as is. And there's been a few modifications, like the engine being rebuilt, coming from racing it for many years. But that is my only thing on the Garage Spirit side of this build that gets me.
All right. You're being hypercritical here, but I will say that again, it raced in the '60s, so this is a time capsule. That's what's great about this is I like how they did again kind of hermetically seal it in, but it does have the rubber bits all over the side. So I'm claiming that Hot Wheels makes this one and throws it with rubber bunch all down the side, and it comes with a smoke machine as well because this one can do burnouts. Yeah, now we're talking. There we go. I'm out. All right, move on to our next car. Here we go. I've never heard of this car. Who's laughing? Dan, you're laughing. The 1960 Simca Chatelaine. Did I say that right, Dan?
Sure.
Okay.
I have no idea. I know what a Simca is. I don't know the model, though.
Okay, so it's cut in half, right? So they split it down the middle. It's widened 8 inches to accommodate a Cadillac STS drivetrain. This is road and track. Keep it in mind, AJ and Dan has upgraded brakes, full roll cage. Never know what's going to happen. Simca might happen. Original Fiat color called Verde Chiaro. And that sounds like a really cool color. So, Dan, you giggled at this vehicle here. Did you know that it had the Cadillac engine in it?
No, I didn't actually. I just saw this Simca, and who would think that a Simca, an old French car, would be here under any guise? And look, I mean, it's cool. It's like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
My favorite flavor.
It looks good. So,
Yeah.
but it's a really weird build. I appreciate that. I mean, something unusual.
I like it. Cool Hand Customs. Mark, what do you say? I see you nodding like, yeah, I like that thing.
Oh, yeah, I like weird cars. I saw this at SEMA, and but I didn't know the story about it. So the fact that there's a Cadillac under there is pretty neat. It's a nice, tidy design too. Not a lot of very European, you'd say. Not a lot of extra junk on it.
Yeah, very all
like
killer, all killer, no filler. It's got the heart of a beast. That Cadillac STS. Vaughn, what do you say?
It's definitely a cool looking car. Very unique. I've never heard of a Simca ever. It kind of has some cues. It kind of reminds me of like that era Volvo. But I love that front end there. It almost looks like it's a little with the headlights and that mouth there. It almost looks like a little smiley face. So to me, it's like a fun, happy car. I like that.
It's more like that. Like, ah!
Yeah, right. But no, it's pretty cool. Very unique, right? I mean, I love unique things I've never seen, and this is certainly a first for me. So hats off to this builder. I love the low, short, kind of stubby, wide stance of it. Pretty neat car.
Going to you, Van. Does this embody one or all of the judging criteria: authenticity, creativity, garage spirit?
I think all that. Yeah, it's a fantastic looking car, and in the front end, I'm seeing like a checker cab grill on that thing almost. It looks like a checker cab and Volvo Amazon mix, which is a lot more awesome than it sounds.
Yeah, it looks like something you could find in like in a movie, in a film, if it's Roger Rabbit cars or a Quentin Tarantino film,
yeah.
right? So somewhere in between all that. Let's move on to our last vehicle of our first 10. Now, I see this, and I'm seeing Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Vaughn Gittin Sr. Look at his mouth. Look at it. I told you. This looks like something Vaughn and his dad, Captain Rad, rest in peace, Captain Rad. This looks like something Vaughn and his dad would build. Now, follow me. It is a Ford Model A, but of course, Chevy 355 motor with a 671 blower, Mack truck headlights. You gotta love that. Rolling custom grill, American flag, wood top. Oh, look at the wood, right? The old glory there. Custom roll cage, all steel interior, French taillights. So all American until the taillights. Weird one, but whatever. I like it. Vaughn, like you said, you kind of sat back in your seat and you're ready to DM this dude and be like, how much? But look at that thing. What do you think?
Yeah, that's low. Wow, that thing must just be scraping the ground everywhere it goes. I love that it's got a wood top. This is obviously a style and a trend, but definitely added his own flavor to this. I mean, it's a wood American flag on the roof?
Yeah. Yeah, it
That's
looks like
pretty cool.
wood paneling painted, and they let it kind of just. Yeah, and that. Oh, who said that? Van? Was that you, Van?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that'll transfer really well. And have you ever kind of done like a tearaway or kind of rip?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. And that, I mean, I just, I feel like if I was a passenger, I'd want to like hang out and like out the roof and like, yeah. But yeah, the wheel choice has kind of like thrown me for a little curveball on it. That motor looks, nothing like a big giant blower like that hanging out. Like, you had me at that, but the wheel choice has me certainly not the type of wheels that you would expect to see on a vehicle like this. I'm personally not in love with them, but there's still the presence of the vehicle as a whole has me captivated. There's so many cool little details and metal work on it. And, metal work like this is such a dying art. And I have a lot of respect when I see it done and executed right. So certainly a cool vehicle, and I think would translate, something that you would catch your eye on the shelf, and certainly would translate well to a Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels does a good job at some of those little detail parts and some of the parts that are not like so built in and kind of hanging off, like the lights and things like that. So I think this one is one of the ones with a full package and very well thought out, and clearly the owner is no lack of creativity. So hats off to him.
You got to love it. AJ, are you a fan of rat rods?
That's so funny that you say that, because I was thinking, are they going to ask me to speak now? Because the first thing I'm going to say is I'm a fan of rat rods. I swear to God. And I am. And I love this car. I love how it's authentic to the genre. I love the wave, the flag. I love the Mack truck headlights. I just think it's terrific. The only criticism I have is that I think that's just beautiful. I just think that's so cool and creative. The only criticism I can come up with is I think it's a little odd to have real drivers, modern wheels and tires with the car that's sitting so low on the ground that it doesn't look like it can really be driven using those wheels and tires effectively.
Yeah, and that was to Vaughn's point as well, and I would agree. You have all this really cool patina, and then you go ahead and put these kind of modern wheels on it. I don't know if you noticed, it does have cup holders, and I'm assuming those hold some big old gulps, if you know what I mean. So you just throw them right there. But I really like this car. I think it's fantastic. There's little details that I don't think will transition or transfer into a diecast, but I think this thing has a lot of spirit. I'd love to know the nickname outside of just Rat Rod. But wow, we've already ripped through 10 cars, gentlemen and lady. As what do you guys think of the first 10? Thumbs up, thumbs down, middle? What do you think? We got thumbs up, yeah. Double thumbs up from Vaughn. Mark giving Mark's stealing third with that. Yeah, Mark's like, yep, steal third. There we go. All right, so, well, we have ripped through our first 10 vehicles. So now we're going to continue on as we've had our special guests here, of course, that of Dan and AJ from Road and Track. We have our two designers, Mark and Van, and of course, Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Colette. Colette, what are people saying online? Anything really cool?
Well, they're saying a lot, but I will say it seems like the two vehicles out of the last pass that really stood out to people were the E30 and the Chainsmoker. E30, and we didn't even play the audio of what it sounds like because it sounds amazing. But between the fabrication work, purpose built, just awesome build, and the Chainsmoker, I think with all those unique elements that were thrown into that, a lot of people online are loving it.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Again, keep that chat going. Want to hear what you fans think, and pay attention because you have that Mobil 1 fan vote. AJ, Dan, you're paying attention because you have your bragging right, Road and Track vote, and then the overall Legends winner, which goes to the finale at the end of all this here in Los Angeles in November. So now we bring in another special guest, Paxton Booth. He's an Emmy Award-winning actor, part of the Hot Wheels family, and he has a huge Hot Wheels collection. So up next is Paxton's Booth. His name is Paxton Booth, but we're going to Paxton's Booth, where he will be sharing some of his favorite Hot Wheels and dropping some Hot Wheels knowledge on us. So, Paxton, over to you, buddy.
Hey guys, it's Paxton Booth, and welcome back to Paxton's Booth. Alrighty guys, so today's Hot Wheels Legends tour stop is with Road and Track. So, I will be showing you some of my favorite Hot Wheels track cars. But before we do any of that, I want to show you this super rad Hot Wheels Ultimate Triple Loop Kit. So, let's go! One of my favorite things to do with Hot Wheels tracks is to see which one of my favorite cars can go around the loops. And with this one, it has 3 loops, a big jump, and a bucket to try to get your car in. So there are a ton of added bonuses. Yes! So the cool thing about these cars is that they have this arrow on here and this flame, and they glow in the dark. And the reason is because they were from the 1987 Turbo Tracks Turbo Glow set, which was actually a track. And the cool thing was that it had stickers on the track that glowed in the dark. These are really, really special to me because they were actually my dad's, and I think it's pretty cool to have my dad's cars in my collection. R&T Crew just sent me the latest box, which is themed Top Secret. So it has a magazine for kids in it, it has wearables, it has fun activities, and even a few Hot Wheels cars, but I can't show you what's in it because it is top secret. But guys, you can go get your own, so use the code LEGENDS at checkout for 15% off the annual subscription box. And thank you, R&T Crew. I cannot wait to see what's in next month's box, and magazine too. So see ya!
And there it is, the Road and Track crew, a kids club by Road and Track. Follow them at Road and Track _crew. And you can see right there, rtcrew.com. This is a great way. I know I got kids. I got 14 and 6-year-olds, so it's a great way to really just get them involved in the automotive and motorsports culture. So what's in the box? Can't tell you. You got to act now. Road and Track _crew. Thank you so much to Paxton Booth. Like I said, look at that collection. I love that he now owns his dad's Hot Wheels. So that is an awesome legacy and tradition that they're carrying on. So speaking of special guests, as we just had Paxton Booth and all our judges, let's move on, and we're going to bring him in here in just a little bit. We'll make sure our connection's all good because I know he travels all over. He's a man of many things. So I'm going to send it over to, I think he's here, DJ Ski. DJ Ski, what? Oh my goodness, look at this backdrop. Wait, are you from Minnesota?
I grew up in Minnesota, so faithfully loyal to all my Minnesota teams.
All right, all right. We'll still talk here. I'm kidding. I have no affiliation. I grew up in San Diego, and that football team left us, so it's okay. But Ski, you are a car guy through and through, and we've met a couple times over the years at different automotive events. But how the world of music and cars, that is just synonymous, right? I mean, from videos to seeing the musicians and their rides, but hand in hand.
It's why we want to make music so we can get the cars, right? Like that's the real secret to it all. So yeah, I mean it's hand in hand. It's so in tune with the lifestyle. And for music, when you think about it, right, the number one place that people listen to music is the car. So there's nothing better than going and doing that. And in fact, the greatest producer of this decade, one of the tips that he taught me is Dr. Dre. And he would always go out, instead of in the studio to mix a record, he'd bounce it down so he could go listen to it in his car because it had to bump in the car. Otherwise, it didn't make a difference.
Yeah, and Ski, you're not just a DJ, you're an entrepreneur. You have Dash Radio, you've DJ'd at Formula One races. I mean, you're constantly progressing your craft. I got to ask you, with all that work and all that entrepreneurship, making some money, you got some whips. What's your favorite ride in the garage right now?
Man, my favorite one is the newest one, and I just picked this up. I just picked up a BMW X6M competition, and for a while I was really on the Lamborghini Urus, and just because it's so fun, especially being such a big car, and it's great for rallies. Like I do Gold Rush Rally all the time. I've done Lions Run and some of these incredible rallies. And but when I saw the X6M competition and drove it, it was just like it's like the ultimate rally car. So I'm in love with that right now. It's so fast. It's insane for a little small SUV.
Yeah, there's that category that doesn't really fall. That vehicle doesn't fall under really any category, right? It's not a small SUV. It's kind of wagonish. It's kind of this amalgamation. It's kind of a Hot Wheel. Speaking of Hot Wheels, can you remember your first Hot Wheel?
First Hot Wheel, I think it would have been like, so this would have been the 90s. So it would have been like a fire truck and dump trucks before. And then I think I remember getting I definitely had a Ferrari. I think it was a Testarossa that I had. But the first one would probably be a fire truck. But growing up, I remember I also had the Simpsons sets, I think, and some movie ones. So I'd always, was a big fan of, all the limited edition, collectible co-branded collab ones as well.
Okay, I'm going to throw AJ. You're representing Road and Track. You wrote the book Go Like Hell. Do you have any questions for DJ Ski? Again, entrepreneur, music. I'm sure while riding, maybe you listen to music, but I feel there's a bond here as far as creatives go.
What's up, AJ?
See, that's funny, man. I drove that car, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But I don't know. Is it my favorite? But I'm the wrong guy to ask. So tell me. So you have a Urus in your garage, right?
I don't have a Urus. I almost got it. I was going to get the X6M instead, but it's my favorite probably because it's the newest. What I was driving, what I've had recently. I had the new G63. I really liked. I just got rid of it because I want to get the Black Series. Was the AMG GTR. So that's obviously a really fun car, and that's a Hot Wheel if you've ever seen one, especially in the green that it came with. And I really want the McLaren Senna, but I got to work a little harder before I can grab that.
Well, while we're on it, you have to ask Dan Pund here about the McLaren Senna. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I drove one for the first issue of our new magazine. So it was purple and gold, so it was understated. I drove it around Detroit.
That's your colors. That's Prince. That's Vikings.
Good.
That's DJ Ski's ride.
You know what? I'll talk to McLaren. We'll talk to him after this. I think it's available. It's 1.1 million.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, pretty easy. Yeah.
It
is an amazing car.
Just put it on my card.
Yeah, exactly, right? No, thank you, Jared. I appreciate it.
I got you, bro. Vaughn, maybe I should ask this to Ski. Ski, have you ever been in a drift car?
I have, and I went. I actually learned how to drift when I was out doing the F1 in Abu Dhabi. One of the princes there has a whole drift course in his backyard, so he took me out there, and I almost died the first time because we hit a side of. I was a passenger, and we hit a side of it. And one of the pieces of the car fell off in metal and shred through the window, and it went right in front of me. So I was I'm still lucky to be here. But yeah, no, that was my crazy experience drifting, and I got to mess around with it myself. It's fun.
Yeah, I bring that up because Vaughn, world champion drifter down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I don't know how you guys do it.
that's rad. I know exactly where you were at, Khaled's house, and that's rad. What an amazing! I imagine you saw his incredible car collection as well there.
That is and I mean, I don't know how that thing exists. There's like one of one cars that look crazier than the Hot Wheels that you'll see out there in that garage. And by the way, one of the other garages is the Pyramid, right? So it's like it's just utterly insane. It's exactly what you'd expect to see in the UAE.
All right,
Yeah,
Ski.
absolutely.
Vaughn, sorry to cut you off. We only got a limited time here. I'm going to call out Ski right now because he's obviously a collector. I'm seeing sports cards. I'm seeing baseballs. I'm seeing footballs. I'm seeing M&M Ski shoes back there. I'm also seeing the game on right now. Football is back. I can see the reflection in your jersey. It's okay. Hey, if I wasn't here, I'd be watching as well. We got to get you some Hot Wheels on that shelf when you're doing these FaceTimes and all this, bro.
Let's do it. I would love to. I've got a whole section right over here that would be perfect for it, or we can put them right there. Let's make it happen right now. I need to rep for Hot Wheels in the background for sure.
I got you. No problem. So the question is, if you were to make a Hot Wheel, what would it be?
Oh, I mean,
DJ
Hot
Ski
Wheel
edition. What do you got?
So I like, you know what? Let's go purple and gold. I like Dan's idea. We've got to do that. So that set it up. Keeping it with what Vaughn said, I might have to take something from the garage that I saw out there. There's what's the Mercedes? It was a concept car that had the old school, it barely had the windshield. I forget what it was called. It's a crazy concept Mercedes. There might be one. But
yeah, just like Dan, would you know what that is? Like a silver arrow or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, could it be the Sterling Moss?
Yes, I think
it's like an open top, no top. Limited windshield, yeah, really cool. Beautiful.
Yeah, the Sterling Moss car. I know exactly the one.
Yeah.
So
it's very long in the nose.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, so we'll get a scaled down version because I don't know if any of us could afford that vehicle. We'd maybe put and we get time to drive it or whatever. But the Sterling Moss, it's got that little windshield there. It almost looks like the Mach 5. I could see you driving that around the streets of LA.
Why not? Let's make it happen. Let's put dreams into reality someday.
I love it. Well,
well
here's the deal. All right, you're talking to Hot Wheels. We'll get you one. It'll be about this big, and it'll be back there. So next time you're talking to all your music producers and all your people on Dash Radio, you're DJing, you're watching football games, and all your paraphernalia, you have the one-of-one Ski Whip.
And I can brag. I'll say I have it. I'll take the Instagram pictures. I'll say I've got the car, right? I've got it. It's true.
use that portrait filter. Make sure you get the shot. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Hey, Ski, I'll let you watch some football. You love sports. Thank you for your time, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jared. Thanks to everybody in here. It's great watching it. And by the way, these cars are incredible. I was watching before I came on, the Ford Model A, and I didn't even know what that Simca was. You guys got some difficult choices to make, so good luck.
Right on. Thank you so much. DJ Ski, again, DJ Entrepreneurs, DJ at Formula One races, and you can see all the collectibles. Now we're going to send him over some Hot Wheels, and he's going to get that one-of-one. DJ Ski, thank you so much. Peace out, my friend. So we're going to take a quick look here at the 10 vehicles we've already seen. If you've already forgotten because of Paxton Booth and DJ Ski, remember, we have 3 accolades here tonight: the Overall Legends winner, the Mobil One fan favorite, and the Road and Track pick, the bragging rights. So here they are. You saw the Chain Smoker. You saw that GTO 3000 GT. Colette, what are people saying? What do you think overall? The Austin Mini, what do you think?
I mean, like I mentioned before, again, the E30 and Chain Smoker are definitely making the buzz go online, but I think people are ready to see the next 10 cars that we have for them.
Yeah, no, and Vaughn, I see a smile on your face. You're loving this stuff, man. I mean, your car was immortalized as a Hot Wheel, not 1, but 2. I even saw your cousin Cody out there doing some peg hunting and grabbing your GT and getting a couple for you. That feeling of walking and being, holy cow, that's my car. You know how special that is.
It's insane, and you can't explain it. But every time someone tags me or because I still yet myself, I have not been able to find one in store. So this is all from friends grabbing. But I have my own little collection now because my friends keep getting them for me. So, but yeah, it's so surreal. I mean, it really is. And I mean, every time I look at them, not only do I relive, obviously the Ford GT was not built, it was bought, but the RTRX was very much built. And looking at this car, literally having it in my hand right now, it just brings back so many memories of this build, 10 years ago. I mean, it was well over a year of my time and a lot of other very talented people. And it's very special. And I'm excited for somebody else to have that feeling, because it's unbelievably surreal and gratifying.
Yeah, no, it is a great feeling. So want to thank you guys and gal for being here, but also want to thank Mobil One. Mobil One is the world's leading synthetic oil brand, proven to protect engines over 250,000 miles. Later on the show, you guys can actually have a chance to vote, like I said, in the head-to-head Mobil One fan vote. And the winner of today's Mobil One fan vote will win a year's supply of Mobil One synthetic oil. So stay tuned for more details later on how you can vote, and make sure to head to walmart.com to pick up your Mobil One, as well as grab the Hot Wheels. Oh, I told you it's sold out, but you can get some sweet gear. There's some awesome gear. Look at this pin right here. Hot Wheels 68. You can see the pins. Let me go through here. Got some lids. I know there's some exclusive gear there, so go ahead and check it out. Go to walmart.com to pick up your Mobil One goods and pick up your Hot Wheels swag. So awesome exclusives. And if you haven't already, follow us at Hot Wheels Official on IG and social media networks, because you're obviously watching here, but be sure to make sure you get all the alerts. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Colette, we wrapped out with you, so here we go. The vehicles. Moving on next. Here's our car. Guys and gal, you guys ready? Thumbs up if you're with me. All right.
Yep.
Here we go. 1966 Volkswagen Beetle. Now this thing has the old school kind of German style with some new school tagging on it. It has a 1776 engine with that hand-painted graphics. The IRS transmission sits on bags. Obviously, you're not driving that thing over a speed bump at all. VW painted on both sides, but it's in different fonts. Front beam was narrowed 4 inches, and it has, and Vaughn, you talked about it earlier, the Stinger exhaust. That's what you see on Volkswagens, and there it is. Mark, I feel like you like this vehicle. I feel like this is a Mark Jones ride, and I could see you pulling up at the Hot Wheels office, and everybody'd see Mark walking out of this thing, and it's to be expected.
Okay. Yeah, I like Volkswagens. My dad had a 58 when I was a kid, and I still remember the smell of the leather in the dealership. But this is interesting because there's a lot of mechanical work he's done. But look at all the detail, the painting. Just these little cool graphics all over the car, besides the big ones on the side. And I really like that and enjoy it. It might be a little hard for us to capture. Certainly the inside stuff, right? But it looks like a fun ride.
Dan, going to you. Do you like Beetles? You're kind of pursing your lips a little bit there. I feel like maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, I dig it, man. I actually dig it. It's I did not expect to see Skeletor in a Volkswagen Beetle. That engine is ridiculous. It's like a little psychedelic cupboard there. And I think the graphics is really cool. I'm surprised. If you describe this vehicle to me without me seeing it, I'd be like, no, that's not my thing. But I dig it. I think you did a really nice job. It's really unique.
Yeah, you can see the air back there. Vaughn, do any of your cars have air?
Yeah, the Ultimate Fun Haver has airbags.
That was a pop quiz. I knew that. I actually knew that.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty straightforward here, Van, as far as Hot Wheels go. You guys I've seen multiple Beetles from you, but it does have the throwback rack on there, which is of era. But then with the graffiti, I think that is some awesome deco on a pre-existing, mold or whatever you call it, tooling.
Yeah, I think it's a great looking car, and like the others have said, there's a lot more going on than you see at first. It just looks like a tagged bug, but then you realize what's gone into it and go, oh wow, this is a totally unique thing. I think most of that, unfortunately, aside from the side graphics, is very hard to communicate at 64th scale, and that's what holds this one back. I think it's a great looking bug, but for 64th, it's a stretch.
All right. Well, I appreciate the insight. Thank you from our Volkswagen designers. All right, moving on to our next vehicle. Changing things completely, but still keeping it to the Volkswagen. The 1971 Volkswagen two-wheel Wonder Bus. Yeah, this is a Wonder Bus because the body is 100% recycled from a 1971 Volkswagen bus. I'm even thinking the interior there. It sits on a 2000 custom Harley chassis that has been modified and features a massive 240 back tire with a 120 spoke wheel, 110-inch twin cam with a 6-speed trans, custom running boards from a skateboard. Oh yeah, look at the skateboard deck there. Custom roof rack, or do you call that a handlebar rack? And then has a Moon Eyes full tank. Hundreds of hours of engineering, and like I said, 100% recycled from the Volkswagen bus. I'm going to go to somebody that is probably scratching her head, Colette.
Oh man. Well, first of all, bus to Harley frame. I want to know what they were thinking. So definitely one of the most unique, wild builds that we have on here. I can't even imagine all the fabrication and customization that had to be done to get to this state. But that's also one of the things that I wish we had more of in their entry video. What's the story? I mean, you look at this, and I want to know what he was thinking when he took on the project. Maybe there's a significance of the bus, but I can definitely admire it from a build standpoint. It's wild, and I just want to know more about that garage spirit and more about that story, but it's sick.
Are you seeing? Look at the shifter, the jockey shifter. It looks like. Mark, going to you. Are you seeing all the bits and bobs from the actual Volkswagen bus applied here? Does this excite you after being at Hot Wheels for 30 years? This is unique.
Yeah, it definitely is unique. I enjoy the, walking around it, trying to find the vents and where they came from on the original bus, right? So you could really say this guy is thinking out of the box, so to speak. It's really, I don't know. What can you say? I love the roof rack or the front fender rack.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah,
we're all guessing.
I want to say it's a sled from my youth, but it's probably recycled from the original roof rack. A lot of creativity here.
Dan, is this a contender for the road and track pick? Because again, Hot Wheels is not exclusive to 4 wheels; it is all the wheels.
It seems unlikely, but it's a very strange thing. Again, like others, I appreciate the amount of work that's gone into it and the creativity that's gone into it. The end result is, man, it's weird.
AJ is cackling like a schoolgirl over here. AJ, what do you say?
I just think it's genius. I love this vehicle. I think that anybody who had the vision to create something so bizarre and pull it off and put in the time to really execute it, whereas you look at it, it's clearly a VW van on a Harley chassis. What? And I just think it's to have that vision and to come through with it and really go all the way is terrific. What I would really love to see is the builder of this vehicle get on that thing and ride it. If that's possible, I feel like that elevates the vehicle terrifically.
I'm just looking at the steering there, the handlebar. You got quite a bit of distance on that fender.
I wouldn't want to drive that thing across country, let me tell you that. But down the street, outstanding.
All right, I like it. Take it to your local libation dispensary there. So, all right, moving on to our next vehicle here. I like this thing, the 1977 Mitsubishi Lancer Colt. I feel like this might have been in a Jackie Chan movie. I remember he was sponsored by Mitsubishi back in the day. So this is registered as a Dodge Colt, but it's made in Japan as a Mitsubishi Lancer Colt. All original, reupholstered interior, so taking care of the stuff maybe that's been worn down. Complete restoration. Now it has the Rally Concept livery, 5-speed swap, and only known running example in California. Now I actually did see this vehicle before we went on, just did a little prep here just to get more in depth, and this gentleman, he went the extra length. So I'm going to go to Dan. Dan, have you ever seen or driven a Lancer Colt, or better yet, like they said, it came over as a Dodge Colt?
I have never. No, I'm afraid it's just a little bit before my time, but that's part of the appeal here, man. Like that color and that livery, all of those graphics are of the period. I think the thing looks super cool. Like a car that would otherwise, in stock form, maybe not be the sexiest vehicle alive, but I like the treatment here. I really like it.
And Van, going to you, talking and looking at this era vehicle, if it was like the Corolla, or excuse me, the Celica, you saw a lot of Toyotas look like this. They look like mini Mustangs and Camaros. They're like the pocket-sized JDM version of a lot of American vehicles. This really embodies that, and you were talking about the Corona wagon earlier. Do you think this would have an iconic or kind of a cult-like following for this vehicle as a Hot Wheels version, especially?
Did you say cult-like following?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I see what you did there. Leave the jokes to me, okay? Van, this is my show. I'm kidding.
So I think it's a great car, and it's neat for the same reason, like you said, as the Corona, because it's so out there. And it's like, I remember Dodge Colts being around when I was a kid, and they were like a maybe a Vega or a Pinto, but this thing elevates it, and it's I think it's totally authentic, and it works exactly as it should.
Yeah, it's got the rally vibe. I like the rally fog lights on there, that big Castrol. This really says it. I wonder who the signatures are there, but it said Saturn on the valve cover. I'm assuming that's not the late model Saturn vehicle. That must be a special edition. Yeah, I would hope not. All right, so let's move on to our next vehicle. Really like that thing for sure. I kind of grew up in the JDM world myself, so I always have an affinity towards that, and especially the classics. The 1979 Dodge Lil Red Express. I feel like that's its rap name. It was Little, and now it dropped it. Now it's Lil Red Express. Rare, only manufactured in 78 and 79. Thanks for the laugh there, Vaughn and fellas. Original wood panel truck bed, original interior. It's powered by a 360 V8 and with a 727 3 on the tree. And it is true Little Red Express. Mark, I'm going to go to you. Where are those plates from? Can you tell the blue and white, Mark?
I cannot.
Okay. Now, what do you think of the little red truck? It's got the stacks. It's really unique, and I know I believe he modified the truck bed as well. What do you think of Little Red?
Actually, in the video, I believe he said it was a East Coast car, but it was now in California. So it's amazing that it's preserved as well as it is. Looks like the family loved it, took great care of it. I think it's a little bit stock for Hot Wheels, but it had some nice touches. The original bed, the wood bed, still there, and his seat cover for old timers like me refers to an old motorcycle movie. So it's nice.
Yeah, this thing it speaks to a certain demographic as far as just age and seeing one of these, and it just seems like it would sit in front of an old ice cream like soda shop, right? That's where I'm envisioning this. Dan, could you drive this thing in through the slush in Michigan?
Absolutely, man. I remember growing up seeing these things around Detroit, and there's like me and my cousin in the back seat of our mom's car, or my mom's car, and just we'd slug each other when we'd see one of these things because the stacks were like, that was the coolest thing you can possibly imagine, right? Like it's a semi truck that you can buy and drive around. But yeah, like as a Hot Wheels car, I would have thought that it already exists because it's this looks pretty stock.
Van, does it exist as a Hot Wheel?
Exist. Yeah, and this is and that's the thing, that as cool as this is, and I loved these things when I was a kid. I remember seeing them for the first time, and they're the variations of this theme. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much exactly what our car is. So I don't think that there's, I mean, you could say that we've already done this guy's car. If you want to put a nice spin on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have that X factor.
Yeah.
All right, sorry to cut you off there, but
fantastic shape though.
It's cool. It looks like a driver. Like you said, it's been encapsulated. It looks good. So I think we all agree that it's a fantastic truck. But you just want to take it down to the beach. You can see the Bruce Brown. You can see, this is a surf truck now, and it's going to be ridden hard, and you can get some surfboards there in the back. So very cool truck. All right, let's move on to our next one here, and this is a pretty fun one. 1967. Cherry Bomb. All right, here we go. 67 Camaro, rear end, 22-inch narrower than stock. Has the Duval windshield. Oh, man, that paint. Is that rattle can? That thing looks like it has been rattle can. 350 Chevy motor, Borg Warner T5 transmission, headlight bar fabricated from a Camaro front bumper, and American racing wheels. So as we are looking at that, Vaughn, I see you kind of getting into this vehicle right here. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I was hoping that you were going to do the cherry bomb cover. So well done on that. Thank you. Maybe I know you too well. Who knows? This is like Garage Spirit, like level 11. I mean, you can see, to your point, the paint job done in the garage, all the stickers, just the creativity. I mean, let's face it, he had a 67 Camaro sitting out back, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And boom, there it is. But very cool. What an idea. Like, cut a 67 in half, squeeze it together 22 inches, obviously shorten it, like really, really unique. Somebody's really sad he did that, but I think that it's the greatest thing ever. Just the feel of this, it's like it totally doesn't belong, but it made it work, like even the fitment, like the wheels where the fender goes, like it kind of works, kind of doesn't, but I like it. And as far as the interior, like, let's get up in there. Wow.
Yeah.
What is that? Like, are those buoys? Are those like life jackets?
Yeah, the interior looks really unique as far as the seats. It's almost like mid-century modern, and then it has the speakers behind it. The Betty Boop floor mats always locks it in right there. Colette, what do you think about this, the Cherry Bomb?
I'm a big fan. I love it. Immediately when we were watching this entry, I just smiled. Like, it's unique looking. It's exciting. I love the windshield. I love the bumper. He took a regular one and just shortened it down. It's wild. I think it's an awesome color and theme combo, and it makes me smile. So I think that's definitely a big check for meeting the creative criteria.
Wait,
And
what?
That was built in that exact garage. So much garage spirit. The entire thing he built in that garage, and even had his mom sew the seat cushions for grandma, I believe. So That's just added touch. He's winning there.
Super, and we're just getting word that the last criteria is if it makes you smile, it gets the fast pass. And if it makes Colette smile, it gets the fast pass to the finals. I'm joking. That's not a criteria.
No.
Oh, look at that thing rip.
Yes.
Here we go. All right, there we go. Now we're seeing it roll here. Van, that's probably got to get you pumped there because, like you said, it's got to run. Does it look like it can drive? This thing moves.
I love this because it's profane, it's blasphemous, it's sacrilegious, it's everything cool about building a car like this. It's like it's a disregard of hot rods and muscle car orthodoxy, and I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Oh man, we might have a leader here. Thank you so much. As I'd love to ask. Oh, AJ, what do you got? AJ wants to say something.
This is a front runner, and I agree with everything that everybody has said because it's so unorthodox and so creative. You look at it, and it's true to so many different. It's a hot rod, very clearly. It's a Camaro, and not just a Camaro, but a '67 Camaro, and the fact that yes, the seats were sewn by mom or grandma. I just think the garage spirit is off the hook. If there was a 12, yeah, it's an 11. If there was a 12, it's that.
There you go. I love it, AJ. I mean, it's just awesome testimonial there. Moving on to our next vehicle here. And this thing is unique. The 1951 Crossley Super. And Dan got a big glow on his face. I don't know if he has a story about this, but this is the Crossley Mobil, built on an 87 Suzuki Samurai chassis, powered by the same Suzuki Samurai 1.3-liter engine, diamond plate door cards, oak laminate floor, and this 4-inch lift kit. Now, the car was built entirely by the owner, so talk about garage spirit. That definitely embodies it. It looks like maybe Arizona or New Mexico or something. So this thing is probably seeing the desert, but don't know where they're going surfing with the surfboard. So, Dan, I saw your big smile there. What do you think about the Crossley Mobile?
I think it's absolutely perverse. It's probably the strangest thing we've seen so far, and I can't help but be charmed by it. I mean, I'm sort of on the smile train on this one. And I dig Suzuki Samurais. I would never have seen this coming in a million years. It's very strangely proportioned. I'm sure it's wildly unstable to drive, and it's awesome. It's really cool. I mean, I'm not sure I would have the wood laminate floors, but otherwise, I think this thing is like, it's so weird. I love it.
Van, what do you think about turning this into a Hot Wheel? Is this a front runner, or is this kind of, I don't know what's going on here, because the Samurais are iconic for doing some amazing rock crawling out in the desert as well, but throw the Crossley body on there.
Yeah, I think this is fun, and again, it's cool because Crossleys were pretty common for altereds and gassers. You never see them for this. I mean, this is like comes out of nowhere, and it looks totally shaky and dangerous and fun. You look at it and you want to drive it just to see if you can get away with it.
Yeah, Vaughn, do you want the keys for this thing?
It looks super sketchy. It's a head scratcher to me. Like when I first saw them, like what am I looking at? Now that they're getting in the Suzuki Samurai, that certainly brings it back to life, or at least allows me to understand what's going on here because it's so far left field. Creativity, I mean, give the guy a real high on the points there. The proportions are very odd to me on it, given that there's a Crosley on a Suzuki. I understand now. Very interesting build. Kudos to the guy who built it. Not necessarily my deal, but I got respect for it.
All right, it's about there. So I appreciate all the insight on the Crossley Super. Let's move on to a vehicle that just talk about iconic status. You saw it in cartoons. You saw it out in the desert. It's simply known as the Manx, but this is the 1960 Volkswagen Manx. Now, the Manx fiberglass body has a front end with 20 inches of travel. So look at that little modern technology underneath the old school Manx. I mean, there's a whole cartoon based around this vehicle, and I'm going to ask Dan in just a moment because I'm trying to remember the name of it. Dan, do you remember the name of the cartoon that it was? The Manx? Anybody?
Yeah, Super Buggy.
Was that it, AJ? Do you
Super
remember
Buggy?
it? No, you got nothing? All right. Well, maybe I'm making things up here. But it has the sway-away tension shocks, 1970 Jackman white spoke rims. It makes 140 horsepower, custom carbon fiber dash and Momo steering wheel. So this thing was built entirely by the owner. Has that garage spirit. I'm going to go to AJ. What do you think of Manx's overall?
I'm a big fan. I think it's cool. I would love to. I just think this guy did a great job building this vehicle, and it would be so much fun to drive. I would love to see, just as a challenge to the Hot Wheels people, to have to build this thing with its all its little tight little things in that size. But I love the vehicle. I think it's cool.
I have to think that the Manx was made previously there. Going to Van, the Manx has been made before, correct?
Yeah, we've had a Myers Manx for several years, and it's not as cool as this one though. This is a great, I mean, and like AJ said, it's a tough thing to scale down.
Yeah, and you can see the modern, the remote reservoir shocks, and you look at this. This looks like an old school side-by-side or like a UTV, something that Vaughn would take out in the forest traditionally, now back in Maryland, now in North Carolina. I think I saw you in something. Were you out driving the Manx the other night in North Carolina and got stung by wasps? Was that you?
I was not driving the Manx. I was in a UTV, but this is super cool. It's like, these machines back in the day would not be as capable as this. Like they would be pretty rough ride. Like they would be designed to go to the dunes, cruise the beach, but nothing near the suspension travel he's added to this. So I feel like whoever owns this is a driver and wanted something a bit more capable. So I love the effort that they put in to make it a driver and capable. Obviously it resonates with me, but to everyone else's point, these things have been around for a long time. I know Hot Wheels has probably done quite a few of these, I would assume. But I love the detail and the drivability that's built into this. I can see that it works, which is really cool to me.
Yeah, Colette, are you an off-road gal? Do you want to get behind the wheel of this thing?
I do. And one thing he said in his video is that this is what he drives every day to work. So I don't know what type of place he works at or what type of treacherous roads he is going through every day. But I love that he drives it. He drives it every day to work, and it was inspired by his dad, who had the same car, and that's the car that he wanted to drive every day himself.
That's great. I love it, and I love the story, like you said, just getting behind it and just refining this classic Manx. All right, let's move on to our next car. This one caught my eye right out of the gate when we did a little teaser, because this Riley Stair built 1970 Pontiac Trans Am. Now, this entirely TIG welded, so this is attention to detail, right? TIG welded, noted space frame chassis, steel body, hand-built IRS and IFS built to exhibit correct suspension geometry at desired ride height of 2 inches. So you got to reimagine here. I mean, Vaughn, I see you shaking your head here because that's important from a racing standpoint. Remember, this is road and track. So Dan, AJ, you have a big responsibility here. This thing is sweet. RTS built Winters quick change differential, has all the right parts. The 400 CI LSX Next 2 motor has equal tuned length headers, 4-inch oval dual exhaust to the door exit, and then all metal fender flares. The list goes on, and that's what it says. Car was built entirely by the owner. All metal fender flares. Dan, going to you, I see you shaking your head like, holy cow, I want this.
Holy cow is it. I am absolutely in love with this thing. I mean, the amount of work put into it is stunning, and the craftsmanship of it is amazing. I want to drive this really bad.
Vaughn, you're a Ford guy, but I think you'll just maybe put a mask on and something and jump behind the wheel of this Trans Am. What do you think? Because you're at your RTR lab there in North Carolina, and you know the kind of work that goes into your builds. I mean, this is something kind of like your RTRX, but this is well-refined Trans Am.
Yeah, this is super sick. I mean, look at how far back the motor is, right? I mean, there's a lot of mindset of race car here. You can see how tucked back it is behind the front axles. Certainly not factory location. I love that the whole body's metal. Very similar approach with the RTRX. We wanted to keep it true to that time, and there's not many people doing this type of metal work anymore. So it's very rare, and if you know, you know. And it's very huge respect to people are putting that effort forth. Proper geometry to 2-inch ride height, that CG super low. This thing with that motor back that far, 2 inches of ride height, this thing rips on the track. Is a lot of fun to drive. It looks really cool too. Like they didn't go too over the top. Still, when I see it, I'm thinking Smokey the Bandit. So this ticks a lot of boxes for me. Very cool build. Hats off to the owner and builder of this car. Super sick.
Mark, what do you think about this thing? Hot Wheels worthy?
Oh, definitely. I love it. I love sanitary circle track cars like this. You can see it has all the right stuff and the craftsmanship, like the other gentlemen have said, and the low stance. It's got it all. I like it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I appreciate it because this is my car. I just got a text right now. They said they're giving it to me. It's really amazing. So I appreciate it, guys. So thanks for really liking my car. All joking aside, this thing is beautiful. Well just built and engineered piece of machinery. Only a few cars left, 2 to be exact. So switching gears from one automotive American manufacturer to another, and like I said, we're going to the blue oval with our next vehicle, the '66 Ford Mustang. You can see Nicholas, I believe that's Sobieski, for submitting this vehicle. This is a GT350R. It has the original '66 Sapphire Blue. Rare Shelby notchback body tribute. Took a father and son 2 years to restore. Wow, only 2 years. Must have been in really good condition. 302 cubic inch Ford engine, Borg Warner T5 transmission, Cobra tachometer, and a Shelby GT350 steering wheel. AJ, I'm going to go to you out of the gate because you would think I was going to go to Vaughn, but I'm just going to hold off because I know he's going to have some words about it. But Ford versus Ferrari, again, you wrote the book Go Like Hell. What do you think of this thing?
Well, it's a sick car. It's just outstanding. It's beautiful. And not just that, it's a very important vehicle in our country's history. What Detroit means. If you think of Detroit and you think the great cars, and Shelby in LA and all that, this is it. The one thing I have about this car is that if it was a Hot Wheels car and I looked at it, I wouldn't understand that it was a build, I would understand that it's GT, the 350R. So I love it. I'm not sure, it wins in every category I can imagine, but I'm not sure it wins in this one.
Van, going to you, GT350R. Do you agree with AJ's sentiments?
I do, and I think it's an incredible looking car. Everything about it is right on the money. I think it looks, and maybe that's the point against it, is that it looks like a Mustang. It looks like a Mustang coupe.
Yeah. Vaughn, you got to be drooling all over this thing, right?
Yeah, I mean it's super cool. They did a great job on the restore. The thing is, I think what everyone's kind of trying to say is like, it's not very different than the 66 Mustangs you see at any 66 Mustang show. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, because when you have a vehicle like this and you want to do something with it, you go one of two ways. You try to make it period correct, true to numbers, maybe a few little personal modifications, or you go completely off the Richter, like the car we just saw previously. So I respect what they've done here. Given that we are here for Hot Wheels Legends, this does not tick the boxes for me for becoming a Hot Wheels. It's certainly rad. I mean, you can see I even put the tubular arms on there. This car, to me, looks like a great driver. It looks like something you could have some fun with, and something that would be, enjoyable to drive on the street or the track and look sweet and have some great story. So still a very cool car, but, I always have a special place in my heart for Mustangs. This is actually a very similar body. Ken's Unicorn that we built is a 65, 66, very similar notchback, obviously. But hats off to them. They've done an amazing job restoring it. Very cool car. And it's unfortunate that in this video they're not doing donuts or blowing smoke off the back tires.
Right. No, exactly. And that's always a great thing to see, that it rips and it could shred. So, again, authenticity, creativity, garage spirit. So keep that in mind. Remember, we have our 3 accolades there: the Road and Track, the Mobil 1 fan vote, and the overall Legends winner. Only one car left. One car to rule them all. Will it rule? We're about to find out. Here we go. The 1931 Model A Rat Rod. Oh, Vaughn just jumped back in his seat. This is another vehicle that I could see the Gittin family, and the detail on this is very interesting. This looks like the tetanus shot, right? So father and son built over the course of 6 months, powered by a small block Chevy engine with an Edelbrock carburetor, made it up to a 700 R4 transmission. 33-inch Swampers and Pro Comp wheels, has a piston shifter, found the original owner's son that bought the car brand new in 1931 at a car show. So it does have some history, and they found out about it. Again, father and son built in just 6 months. So there's the little, look at the little like spark plug hot rod guy. Vaughn, going to you. We're getting all these chain vehicles here. We started with the chain smoker, and here we are with some more chains. Vaughn, going to you.
Yeah, definitely requires a tetanus shot before getting in. I jumped because when I saw this Model A Rat Rod, I expected another dump to the ground Rat Rod. Never seen a 4-wheel drive Rat Rod before. Very, very cool on the creativity side. I don't know how functional it would be. It looks like it would be extremely rough to drive that thing in any kind of off-road situation, but very cool. Actually reminds me of something my Uncle Joe would build.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was thinking of Joe.
Yeah, but no, it's cool. It's unique. Again, the wheels. Okay, there's some driving going on in the flat snow. The wheels are throwing me off. Like I'm just not getting these really well thought out, creative, crazy builds with the the catalog. Oh, okay.
Now
you've got my attention.
Yeah,
Dan,
piqued Dan's attention. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just like that really throws it off. Like for me, and again, like something like this, I feel like the wheels just don't belong on it. So it kind of like removes my interest a bit seeing that, because that's such an important part to me. But very cool and wild nonetheless. Whoever thought of this, again, I want to have a combo with this person. right next to the Cherry Bomb builder and just say, hey, what were you thinking?
Yep.
It's cool. What were you thinking, you know?
Yep, you could pull this up on Fremont Street. It's got the Las Vegas plaque there. Welcome to Las Vegas. Colette, what are some of the fans saying as we're kind of culminating all 20 of our vehicles? We'll find out who wins. What do they think of this last Model A hot rat rod, and what are they saying about all of the vehicles?
They're liking it, but so far, again, the chain smoker keeps coming up. Let's see, at Jay Jedi says chain smoker is going to be my pick. Eric C says E30 wins so far still. We got a lot of good comments about the Trans Am. Let's see, Benji Roberts says this thing is hitting it all for me. Nicholas Haas says winner, winner, chicken dinner for the Trans Am. So, yeah, it's clear some favorites are kind of rising to the top here, but now we're one step closer to voting time.
That's right. Again, our three accolades here are the Road and Track bragging pick right there. AJ and Dan are going to pick that one. And then we have that of the Mobil 1 fan vote. So hopefully you've been paying attention because we'll pick the top two that are going on and the Mobil 1 fan vote. And then, of course, this Legends Tour Stop winner. So reminder to get your little ones started early. We talk about the RT Crew, a kids club by Road and Track. Go to rtcrew.com. You could see it right there to subscribe, and you could get a subscription box for car-loving kids. Enter Legend for 15% off. So again, enter Legend for 15% off for an annual subscription. Again, go to rtcrew.com and enter promo code LEGENDS for 15% off this subscription box. For all the Hot Wheels fans out there missing our Hot Wheels Legends vending machine, we had those at the previous, when we were at Walmart's at the Legends Tour in physical form, and now here we are, the comfortable stay-at-home version of Hot Wheels Legends Tour. You could head to walmart.com and you could potentially, oh no, again, I'm sorry, it's sold out. That's why you got to act fast, kids. That's why you need to go to Instagram and follow at Hot Wheels Official. Make sure you have all the updates and all the alerts and all of that going on, so make sure you get all the updates. This is designed by the infamous Larry Wood, so you can only get it at walmart.com, but you have epic products such as pins, you got hats, shirts, bags, all of it celebrating the Hot Wheels Legends Tour. Built, not bought. That's what it's all about. So again, available only at walmart.com. Oh man, so much going on. Thank you for hanging out with us, all our judges, our special guests, our designers, and of course Colette working the keyboard down there, multitasking. She's cranking those energy drinks again. This son of gun here is mine. So you know what? Let's keep it moving because we are going to go to the judges. Hopefully you've taken notes either on electric device or you got pen and paper, because I'm going to rattle off each judge's name. You're going to give me from 3, 2, and 1. So third place, second place, first place. Brief, but a little elaboration. I'm going to start with the Hot Wheels designers. I'm going to go left to right. So, Van, third, second, first. Who do you got?
Third place is the Trans Am. Just for obvious reasons. The thing is just so beautiful, and I love the idea of making this into a Hot Wheels, just because it's all metal to begin with. We do our thing on it. I think it'd be fantastic. It's a beautiful car. Number 2 is the Cherry Bomb, for the reasons that we already discussed. It's it's just insane. It's insane and profane, and I love the way it's been handled. I love that 90% of the shot was in the garage to let you know that, hey, this is a garage car. And for number 1, I'm going to go with the E30.
And your reasoning behind that? I mean, you went from 2 American cars, you covered the gamut there as far as really race track prep engineering to something that is just, like you said, might offend some people too. Just sleek line, something unique. That's your number 1 pick.
And I think because this kind of covers the best of the both that the other 2 offers. It's got the killer LS swap, which I'm not totally sold on in every case, but in this, I think it works. I love the way the body work on this is. It just looks so stretched tight and just ready to run.
I like it. I like it. Well, those are all great picks. Again, very hard. I do not envy your gentlemen's and ladies' job here. Next on, I'm going to move on to the other Hot Wheels designer, Mark Jones. Mark, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, number 3, I'm going to go for the 1971 VW two-wheel Wonder Bus, just because it's like out of left field, totally creative, and a different format, 2 wheels versus 4, something just unexpected.
I like
for it. For my number 2 pick, this will ring familiar. The BMW E30. If you look at the video, you're just captivated by the sound and the launch control, but all the race details are neat. And as far as the translation to 1/64th, because of all the shapes and volumes on the fenders, it'll really look interesting in 1/64th. And finally, number 1, I have to go with that Pontiac, the Trans Am. I just fell in love with that thing. Just the detailing, the craftsmanship, and the overall stance. It's just low, wide. Looks like a Hot Wheels to me.
Nice. Really good picks. Again, from that, it looks like the Pontiac Trans Am got 3rd and 1st. The E30 got 2nd. So mixing it up here a little bit. Dan, moving on to you.
All right, number 3. Yeah, no pressure. We're going to hear some familiar ones. Number 3 is Trans Am, because for all the same reasons, man, the thing is just amazing. It's the car I most want to drive of any of these cars. I think it's beautifully done. The only reason it's not number 1 is I don't think it translates as well to a Hot Wheel as some of the other stuff. But as a real car, as a real build, I think it's tops. The opposite direction is number 2, which is Cherry Bomb, which I don't know how it drives, but it's so kooky and it's so weird, and it's like exactly in the right spirit of things, and I think it would make a great Hot Wheel. That's number 2. And number 1 is E30. I just can't get enough of that car. The color, the style, the engine, the sound, the build quality. I think it's just awesome.
Yeah. Kaiser does some amazing. If you don't know who designed this vehicle, Kaiser does some amazing digital illustrations. Worked on and built a few different cars. So this is his kind of master class right here. So amazing vehicles, all of them great picks. So next up, our other road and track representative, again, author of Go Like Hell. Go ahead, Go Like Hell. 3, 2, 1. AJ, bam. Oh, it's cutting out. Oh, we got mute there, AJ.
I want to be counterintuitive just for the fun of it and give a shout out for the second 1931 Model A, the Frankenstein stitching. The amount of detail and thinking I just think is absolutely brilliant. So that's my number 3. Number 2, I got Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb, brilliant. Just, it's again, so counterintuitive, so cool. Again, coming back to what everybody's talking about, the Pontiac Trans Am, when you look at that vehicle, it is so it just looks like something out of this world. And the proportions, just everything about it makes me want to drive it. But also, when I look at it, I'm like, that's a Hot Wheel. Like that's a vehicle that should be a beautiful thing on my shelf.
All right, so just to clarify, AJ, you're saying the Trans Am is your number 1.
Correct.
All right, there you go. What's interesting about the Trans Am for me is it looks like a jungle gym, right? You got all these bars, but it looks functional, and I like the technological aspect in it. And keep in mind, it's painted Sponsor Me white, which is not the most, I love white cars, but that says like Sponsor Me, right? But the Panda Sports, the gold, the polished lip, that's an all-around great car. It's begging to be driven and doing some burnouts. So right on. Great picks there, AJ. Again, seem to be a trend here. Are Vaughn and Colette going to change it up here? Vaughn, going to you. You look like you're about to disrupt the norm.
Well, I very much am taking it very serious that this is turning into a Hot Wheel. So I've got not only my builder and enthusiast and fan hat on, but I've got my marketing mindset on there as well. Of what's going to be on the shelf is going to pop off and be super exciting just at first glance. So that's kind of where I went with it. I did not put this on my short list But I do want to give a shout out to the E30. I think that crew did an amazing job. That car's rad. And it was actually, I haven't told a lot of people this, but the first car I ever did a burnout in was an E30. It was my stepdad's. And I borrowed it to go get something from the store, and I went and did burnouts in it. And
Oh, dude, you're outed. You're
now
outed.
he knows that. But okay, so number 3 for me, I went with the Trans Am. Amazing build. I mean, frankly, I think that is probably the most significant undertaking of a build that we've seen tonight. Huge respect for that car and what it is, and like from a drivability factor, like I want to feel that thing. So that's really cool. And then my number 2, I went to Chainsmoker. I have a huge respect for the creativity, the garage spirit, the authenticity, whatever he was trying to be authentic to, I don't know, but it's just is it. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to be anything. It's like pirate mixed with hot rod mixed with diesel. Like it's just all over the board, but well, connected in some weird universe.
Number
There was
one.
not.
Oh, is he glitching?
What?
What's
Me?
number 1? Go. Let's go for it.
Okay, got it. Sorry,
Give me-
I thought you were telling me to hold on.
No. Sorry, I'm giving me your number 1.
Yeah, got it. So my number 1 is Cherry Bomb.
Hey.
I think it ticks all the boxes, and the reason why that was number 1 versus the Chainsmoker, not to discount Hot Wheels, but trying to bring Chainsmoker to life with all of that craziness going on would be a huge challenge. But what really ticked it over is this thing already has a name. It already has a brand. It's the Cherry Bomb. You know what I mean? Like, I can see people talking about, did you get the Cherry Bomb? Did you get that yet? And I see that as being a huge, for me, went over the edge. So that's my number 1 pick. Damn, this was hard.
It's hard, right? I mean, all of these
my
vehicles.
gosh.
It's almost like you could smell the smoke in here, and it's doing burnouts right now. I mean, you know, what vehicle of those 20 embodies the twin mill here? I mean, that's really what you're trying to capture here. We saw our previous winners. You know, you saw, what was it, the whole Camino at the first stop. You saw the Scorpion, and you got a really good assortment here, and that's the challenge, right? And I like how Vaughn took into consideration trying to make Mark and Van's job easier. No, twist the screws on these guys. I mean, look, Mark, calm down, Mark. I know you're an excitable fellow, but just relax, okay? Just relax. All right, last but definitely not least, the beautiful, the one, the only, Colette Davis. Colette, what do you got? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I keep changing my order, so I'm just going to go with it with my last decisions, and it was really, really hard. I know we're short on time, so I'm going to try and go fast. But number 3 for me is the Chain Smoker. I love that it was saved from being abandoned in a field and kind of given another life. There's a real patina. There's 1,000 horsepower. There's a drift brake that looks like a sword because why not? And that's awesome. Chains are from an elevator because he did that and he could. So that's number 3 for me. Number 2 is Cherry Bomb. I love it so much. I get the biggest smile when I look at that car. It was 100% garage built with grandma sewing the seats in it. There's just so much yes that I feel when I look at that car. And like Vaughn mentioned, the brand's there. They branded themselves, and that's half of the marketing done. And number 1 for me was the Trans Am race car. I had to pick it as number 1. And this is coming from someone who, myself, all of my cars are bright, neon colors, wild, okay? I love color, and this car is making me rethink everything. It's making me rethink my entire life right now. The build is incredible. It was built mostly by the owner as well, which again, garage built, garage spirit. I love that. 1,000 horsepower. Shout out to my friends at G-Force Transmission. Has their dog box in there. Quick change diff, big tires, and I just want to drive it. So that is my number 1 pitch, and those are my top 3.
Well, thank you so much. As you could probably tell, it is super close because you saw the E30 in there, you saw the Trans Am, the Cherry Bomb comes in late into the mix. So it's a very different perspective from all of you different judges. So as we tabulate all of that from you, the judges, we're actually going to have a Hot Wheels design spotlight. Previously, we talked to a designer at our last stop, and now we're going to talk to somebody who designed a car that now Van and Mark are going to have to twist the screws on, like I said earlier. So we have our winner from last year. So really cool. He's going to be joining us, and I'm going to kind of pass it over to Van because I believe they've already met. Nod your head if you have before. Yeah, so Van, you're going to get involved here. But we bring in last year's Hot Wheel Legends winner, and he's got the vehicle behind him right there, Greg Salzillo. Greg, where are you joining us from exactly?
I'm at our new location in St. George, Utah. I've got a really good group of guys here, Speed Tech Performance. They're kind of hosting us, so big thanks to them, but that's where we're at, Speed Tech Performance.
Awesome. And your shop is JLS Customs. Now, again, I'm going to pass it over to Van because real quick, how I'm going to kind of set you up, though, is when you built this vehicle, did you have the intention of winning the Hot Wheels Legends, or was it like, holy cow, this crazy piece of machinery that we created, imagined, and executed, this would be perfect for Hot Wheels?
No, so the car was done about a year prior to the Hot Wheels Legends Tour. However, once we saw the Hot Wheels Legends Tour, we knew that it was kind of a perfect fit. It checked basically all the boxes that Hot Wheels was looking for. And we actually tried out for the 2018 Hot Wheels Legends Tour, the very first year they did it. We went to the Pico Rivera stop. I believe it was the very last one. And we didn't get anything. We didn't get anywhere. But we were told by all the judges basically to bring this thing back. It was amazing. So we came back year 2 with the Nash to the El Segundo show. And we ended up winning that El Segundo show. So kind of a little bit of perseverance, I guess you could say.
Awesome. Well, there you could see the whole celebration last year. That was at the 2019 SEMA show in Las Vegas. Van, what's going through your mind? What's the process? I know he brought that vehicle there to Hot Wheels. But go ahead. The stage is yours, Van.
Hey, Greg. How you doing, man? Great to see you again. Hey, this car
good.
Covers just about everything that we try to do at Hot Wheels, and it was such a big deal when it was and even though he didn't get chosen at Pico, when he came back to El Segundo, everybody was talking about it. I look like I'm breaking up. Can people hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just keep wrapping out. Just a little technical issue. No big deal.
Yeah. So anybody that walked onto that lot when this car was there was talking about this car. You'd go over, you'd see somebody you work with and say, "Have you seen this thing?" It's like he came back. So it was a perfect timing. The thing is insane. It's and the thing that's cool about a Nash is that the Metro is so cute and cuddly, anyways. And when you see it done like this, it's just a complete twist. It's like the the Hello Kitty skull kind of thing. It's like it's sweet and sour, and it's badass. I love the thing. Like it's an honor for us to be able to make the car.
And going to you, Greg, I believe you took delivery of the prototype. What you got the Nash behind you, but you got a little baby Nash right in front of you, right?
I do. I've got something in my hands that I guess we want to show the world.
Let's see it.
You guys ready to see it?
Yes, please.
Roll it out.
So this is the very first Nash Hot Wheel.
All right.
Yay. Beautiful.
Yes, absolutely awesome. I mean, is this a dream come? Are those tears? Are those tears right now, Greg?
There were definitely tears at SEMA once we were awarded this thing. The tears have kind of come and gone. Now it's just joy. We're super excited, super thrilled to have this thing in our hand. And let me tell you, having this thing seen in person, Hot Wheels did an incredible job. Can't wait for kids, adults across the world to get this thing in their hands and have their very own Nash, basically. Super thrilled and super pumped on it.
Van, going to you, because this isn't just a Hot Wheels, this is a special edition. Where does this fall into the family of Hot Wheels?
Oh, this is it's in the basic car line, which is the dollar cars. But since it's the Legends winner, I mean that elevates it up. I would say above premium, just in a the exclusivity and the importance of it. I would say even more than exclusivity. It's just that it's a significant car, and it's a great execution. It's a great partnership. I think everything turned out perfect on it.
Yeah, you are officially inducted into the Hot Wheels Garage of Legends, is where we keep the most iconic vehicles, each inspired by a life-size build, or vice versa, right? So like the Twin Mill here, it started out as the Hot Wheel, and then they made the real-life version. So this is some hollowed ground. So, I mean, Greg, there is a small alma mater of you, 2018, 19, and then this year. So it is something special. You rolled the dice. It obviously paid off. Are you a gambling man?
I am not, but I guess we just kind of gambled with this car and we took the ultimate prize.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the video on you and taking this car and cutting it up. How many people worked on this vehicle? How many hours do you think you have into the Nash?
So this was built by two people, me and my good friend Dave Ford. He can't be here with me, unfortunately, but just the two of us. We built it in a garage, and we built it for a car show out in Vegas. And we built it probably in about 3.5 months from start to finish. So it was kind of after hours. We both worked, during the day. We would collectively get together, brainstorm, gather parts during the day after work, whatnot, come together at night and just build into the night, basically. Lots of late nights, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and we came up with this masterpiece behind us.
I love it. Van, what goes into some of the deco execution? What is challenging as far as the sculpt goes and taking this actual vehicle and turning it into now what Greg is holding, the first ever Nash, part of this Legends?
Well, the most important thing about the Nash Cosmopolitan is always the color break. It's like you gotta have that white in there, or the dark and light, and so that gives you a pretty funky part split. There's a lot of consideration and compromises that need to be made to get it right, and you don't take chances or take shortcuts, especially on something like this with a car that's this important. I can't overstate that.
Yeah, real quick, Greg, can you put that a little closer to the camera? We're a little digitized here, but does it capture the patina on there? Maybe you could describe it. What are you most excited? There you go. What are you most excited about? Oh, it does. Look at the patina up there on the front fenders.
On the fenders and the trunk.
There's patina. There's pinstriping. They've got it all.
Yeah.
Oh, Van. As the Hot Wheels collectors are watching here, they are salivating. They are drooling all over this Nash.
Well, that's what we want. Go out and get it.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to create here. Like you said, it's still $1 car, but you can afford a vehicle like that, and it could sit, and you could just continue the generation, the legacy of Hot Wheels. Greg, can you remember your first Hot Wheel?
It's been so many years, but I could just tell you this, that, at probably 2-3 years old, I was waddling around the house with Hot Wheels in my hands, I think, just like every other kid is. So probably before I could even walk, I would say.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's a straight line from that car to this car. I would say that.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. So again, just last year you had your first Hot Wheel. You were crawling. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Your Nash is awesome, man. Congratulations and welcome again to the Hot Wheels Garage of Legends, Greg. Congratulations.
Thank you guys very much. Truly appreciate it. Thank you, Hot Wheels, and again, thank you, Speed Tech Performance, for helping us out with this.
Right on.
Thanks,
so
Greg.
for more of Greg Salzillo, check him out at JLS Customs. That is the company, him and his homies out there building in Utah. So an amazing vehicle there. So now it is time to vote. We are live, baby. Here we go. Now it's time to vote for the Mobil 1 fan vote. So it's open. I'm pulling up my phone right here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go on Instagram. So pull your phone out, and you're going to go to Hot Wheels Official. It aggregated because I already followed him. Oh, I'm going to like that photo there. That's Greg's Nash right there. But go into stories. So you're going to go to Hot Wheels Official, Instagram, IG stories, okay? And you're going to scroll over. Oh, there it is. So the two vehicles that are up for the Mobil 1 fan vote, is it the 1967 Cherry Bomb or is it the BMW E30? You get to choose which one. I'm going to choose right now. This is a hard one. I'm going to go, boom. I just voted. Did you vote? So again, go to Instagram. You can see right there. Go to Hot Wheels Official. Click the stories. You can see right up there. And that's where you're going to see. And it's, again, 50-50. You got 2 cars to choose from. Vaughn, Colette, AJ, Dan, Mark, everybody do it. All right.
What was your vote, Jared? What was
I'm
your
not
vote?
telling.
Did it.
I'm not telling.
What do you mean?
I don't want to tell. I don't want to skew anybody.
All right, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't want to tell. I'll tell you afterwards. It's kind of like Formula Drift. When we're announcing drifting, Formula Drift, I don't say what I think until the judges have hit their buttons. So, oh man, yeah. So, as you know, let's move on here again because now it is time for our road and track pick. AJ, Dan, have you guys conversed on the sidelines? Are you texting each other? Have you come to an agreement, or is this a full-on arm wrestling match?
We had to go across the country and actually throw punches. I mean, it was like professional wrestling. Jimmy snook us across the country trying to figure out which one. So Dan, go ahead.
We're still in agreement then?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
All right, so the road and track pick brought to you by Dan Pund and AJ Bame of Road and Track is
the BMW E30. Probably not a big surprise to anyone, but it is the car that most closely aligns with Road and Track. It's European, but it's American. It's a street car, but it's a race car. It looks great. It looks like a Lancia Delta Integrale. It's got the big box flares and the cool wheels, and it looks so cool. And it's just so beautifully done that I'm absolutely smitten with the thing and proud to give it our award.
AJ, everything that he said, his sentiments, because you could get the proportions wrong and really throw off this vehicle. The wheels, if they're inset, if they're outset, if they're too small or too big, too much rubber. I think the proportions are good, but everything he said?
Well, actually, what I said earlier was a total lie. It was a very easy decision to make. We all agree. It was an instant decision, and we've made it.
Done and done. Cool and good. So yeah, those awesome rotiform wheels. Again, the fender flares. Kaiser did an amazing job designing it, but the gentleman who built it, that was built by the owners. So it was built, not bought. So I think that adheres to the criteria as we talked about, that garage spirit, the creativity, and the authenticity, and that just really encapsulates all thing Hot Wheels. So I think that's a great pick and very applicable. Like as you said, Dan, it's in line with the road and track belief. It wants to be driven. It's begging to be driven. And again, this is another vehicle that I'd love to have in my garage, and I think you guys would agree.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for Road and Track for hosting. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. So we've given out the Road and Track pick, and now we bring in our next special guest. Now, this gentleman drives. He creates cool stuff. He's just cool. I kind of want to be this man. I mean, at one time, he was the only American Porsche race car driver, and now he's created. I mean, look at this guy. He just exudes cool. Hey, sorry to bother you. Mr. Patrick Long, our Mobil One guest, and creator and curator of Luftgekühlt, one of the coolest car shows. If you have not heard of them, am I saying that right, Patrick?
You're pretty close, closer than most.
Okay, can you say it for me?
Luftgekühlt.
Luftgekühlt. Okay, I need a few German lagers before I could say it like that. I need to go to Oktoberfest. So
Luftgekühlt.
Speaking of Kolsch, let's talk about cool. I am holding, and I hope did you get one of these yet? Did you get?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're talking to Patrick Long here. Patrick, at one time, like I said, you're one of the only American factory Porsche drivers. Maybe give people your accolades so they know kind of your background overall.
Yeah, I get paid to drive race cars. Porsche's been my home for the last 2 decades. 24 Hours of Le Mans, Daytona, Sebring, Petit Le Mans, things like that. We just came off a race last weekend, the 6 hours at Road Atlanta, and number one job is to get in and be one of Porsche's hired guns to go up against the rest of the OEM manufacturers and win classic endurance races. Every single week is a new journey. There's plenty of things outside the race car that we do as a team, and just a great company to be affiliated with.
Speaking of companies, Mobil One, the trusted synthetic oil for you. You're a guest of Mobil One. Is that what you run in a majority of your vehicles and race cars?
Yeah, since 2004, the first time I went to Le Mans in a full Mobil One set of overalls, it's been a home. Mobil One is an exclusive partner with Porsche. But actually, when we started working together one-on-one was Luftgekühlt. Luftgekühlt is a passion project of mine. It's sort of the car show, if you will. Growing up in Southern California, getting dragged to all kinds of vintage events, Pomona Swap Meet, you name it. I found myself sort of staring up in the sky and asking myself if I had my chance to create my own car show, what would I do? And in 2014, I went down to Deus Ex Machina, not far from here in Venice, California, and got together a group of curated Porsches that I thought told the story of air-cooled. Air-cooled is a huge past for Porsche, starting in the late 40s and all the way up to the final 993 in 1998. Air-cooled was the way, and the cars are emotional. They're pretty simplistic to work on, somewhat affordable. That has changed in the last 8 to 9 years, but you can still get into a 914 or a 912 and really understand what it's like to go out and row through the gears, hang it out. I mean, my 912, I run a 185 rear tire. It only has about 125 horsepower, but on that little of a tire, that's all you need. So I love the purity of driving them. I can't say I'm great at working on them, but at least I'm a little more versed in working on air-cooled cars than I might be on modern cars. But at least in the racing environments, being in a torsion bar spec vintage car, running Weber carburetors, and just having to hang it out as you drop down through the corkscrew. That's where I spend my off weekends when I'm not racing in IMSA.
Yeah, you can almost smell the petrol. You can smell the interior of those classic air-cooled Porsches. Why this particular model for your Hot Wheel? Why did you launch with this?
Yeah, the 9.
Yeah, go ahead.
So just the 934.5 is the ultimate outlaw. This car was built. There were only 10 examples. It was essentially Porsche looking at the rule book in the late 70s. IMSA had changed the rules on them. They were dominating, and they had to bring out a car that really loopholed what was to happen. Almost 600 horsepower, single turbo, huge slicks, mean aero, well ahead of its time, and it was a giant killer. The displacements in those days were big. There were V8s and such, and of course Porsche comes in with a 3-liter flat 6 and romps the competition. This car was pretty much blacklisted before it started. And so for my first design collaboration, or Luftgekühlt's first design collaboration with the guys from about three miles from where I'm sitting right now at the design center at Mattel, this was our first stab. And I'm happy to say we have a couple more coming down the pipe too that might get a little bit more towards the Legend Tour theme of a sport, and it was that celebration that Luftgekühlt really is about, which is design influence. The livery is from the Brumos era, the famous red, white, and blue. We changed the colorway up a little bit to go a bit more German, and proud to be part of this collection that's just come out. I guess we're calling it the Thrill Seekers. The 5 that were in there with the Audi Quattro, just an icon in itself. Romain Dumas, a teammate of mine who ran up Pikes Peak in the Volkswagen IDR and set the overall record for an electric vehicle. So yeah, lots of cool ones in this. How can you argue with an RS 2000? But yeah, we're stoked to get to be into the family.
Yeah, no, it completely makes sense, the family of vehicles here. The Volkswagen IDR lost control at the Goodwood Festival Speed, and it was pointed right towards me, but fortunately steered out. Did you see when he lost control at Goodwood? That thing was coming right for me.
Yeah, the amount of downforce that car makes and all the aerodynamics that really derive from Le Mans. Running up Goodwood when there's hay bales and dirt on the track from the drifters and the NASCAR guys, it couldn't have been an easy ride, but I'm glad you ended up safe on that one, Jared.
Wait, it's all our fault? It's all our fault?
Yeah, we always blame the drifters.
We're the only ones that put dirt down at the Goodwood Festival of Speed? Come on.
I threw NASCAR in there, Vaughn, so there's a couple more of those Cowboys representing over in England.
No, I love it. And Patrick, just the way you talk about it, you could see why you started your own event, just to give kind of that brand and that feel, just the whole air-cooled. And like you said, you have a respect for the old school. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate what you've created with your show and obviously what you do.
Thanks for having me and learning a lot listening to tonight, and really, really cool. Some amazing builds, and I'll be following this all the way through on this vote.
All right, Pat, did you vote for the Mobil One fan favorite? Did you go on Instagram?
I have not, but in my lucky connected ways, I better get on this phone and make it happen.
Yeah, get on it because it's about to close. So let me know as soon as you do it because I am going to pull it up here. I pulled out my phone. So the Road and Track, the bragging rights pick was the E30, and now the Mobil One fan favorite. So we'll take the winner of the Mobil One fan favorite of each round. They'll go into a pool, and then you'll vote for, of the pool, which one will go to the final round against the Legends round winner. So if you follow me right there. Pat, did you vote?
I did.
Okay, so here we go. Let's go to the Instagram stories. I'm going to see who won, and the winner of the Mobil One fan vote is the BMW E30. So the E30 does double duty there. Kaisa and the team. Patrick, do you agree with this? I mean, the Cherry Bomb, I don't think that's air-cooled by any means. And then the E30 is LS-powered, but overall, great-looking car.
Awesome car. I love the aerodynamics, the diffuser on the back, those wheels and the stance. Even though it's the competition from the Bavarian guys down in Munich, lots of respect for these builders. And how can you argue with the LS torque? I mean, let's see some donuts and burnouts and tear some tires up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so muft, Patrick. I'll see you at the Luft Colt. I butchered that name once again. We'll see you at Luft. Is that easier to say?
Yep, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Man. Patrick Long, thank you again.
Thanks,
as Patrick there, thank you so much. Patrick Long, find him. I know he's on Instagram, and IG, PL Motorsports, and again, Luft has a really cool Instagram page. So we are waiting to tabulate the winners here, and the overall winner, tabulating all the points. And all right, I'm just going to go right into it. Here we go. Third place. Am I saying that correct? So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Third place. Do you want to rattle those off? Why not? Sure. Okay. Third place. We already saw him. The BMW E30 got third place overall because this was really tight. So, again, third place goes to the BMW E30. Bragging rights. You got the Mobil One fan pick, so still alive as far as going to the Legends final. So if there's some fans out there wanting to root for that vehicle. Second place, the Cherry Bomb. The Cherry Bomb gets second place. The sweet 67 Camaro, chopped up Cherry Bomb. I love that song, and you got to love the C bucket. Look at that plate there. And finally, the winner of the Hot Wheels Legends Tour. This third stop is the Trans Am, the Pontiac 1970 Trans Am. Round of applause across the board. Riley Stair, congratulations. You are going to the Hot Wheels Legends final. So there you have it. Again, you would join all the other Legends Tour finalists at the virtual grand finale in Los Angeles in November for a chance to have their car immortalized as an iconic Hot Wheels diecast vehicle. This is the trophy that you will receive, and this jacket here, courtesy of Dickies, beautiful chain stitching. You could see it right there. This is the trophy, the Diora 2, this awesome vehicle. So designed in El Segundo. Man, awesome job. Love the Trans Am. Love this trophy, the twin mill. And you know what? This has just been a great celebration. Judges, did you guys have fun? And Gal?
Yeah, that was rad.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Thank you, guys and gal. Thank you again to Mark, Van, Dan, AJ, Von Gittin Jr., and Colette. I'll see you. When am I going to see you? Do you know the date?
Don't test me like that in
September
front of everyone.
24th. September 24th. I had to look. I looked down. I challenged you. September 24th.
We'll see you then.
Yeah, September 24th. Again, this is going to be an awesome round, fourth round. So if you haven't submitted your car, if you haven't seen your vehicle yet, we do have future rounds. So don't give up just yet. But you know what? Your car looks sick. Put a video together. You can go to hotwheels.com/legends and submit your vehicle. So thank you guys and gals so much. Be sure to go to walmart.com/hotwheels. You can pick up all your gear, including the pins that I'm rocking right here. You got hats, you got goods, and of course, you got Hot Wheels. But this Luft one right here, this one, yeah, that one's mine. All these. Thank you guys and gals. We'll see you online or we'll see you another time. And again, go to hotwheels.com/legends. We'll see you for the fourth stop of the Hot Wheels Legends Tour, September 24th. Same Hot Wheels time, but same Hot Wheels channel. Peace. Send it.
Later.